I have a confession. Before we watched Zombies, I was a certified zombie hater.
All types of zombies, but also
No, I was a Disney Channel original movie zombies hater. And it was because I was kind of a stickler about my zombie content. I was a big Walking Dead fan. And from the outside, it literally just looked like a movie about kids with green hair. And they were calling it zombies. And that seemed dumb to me. But then we watched it and I was like, it's a musical though.
Kelsey is very particular about her zombie media. World War Z is her least favorite movie of all time.
Hate it.
Zombies by the Cranberries is one of her least favorite songs of all time.
I think it's dumb.
Walking Dead is one of her favorite TV shows of all time.
Love it.
And Zombies, the DCOM, has been both.
Now it slaps. It slaps. I don't care that it's goofy. I'm like, you know what? This is right up there with Walking Dead in zombie content.
What is everyone's favorite piece of zombie media? Mine is Minecraft.
Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm Benji.
I'm Kelsey.
And we're the DCOM duo.
Podcast, but we have a guest. We're not just the DCOM Duo today.
Yes, today we are the DCOM duo plus one.
Today we're joined by Jacob.
Hey, what's up, gang?
Hey!
Glad to be here.
Hell yeah. Jacob is calling in from Colorado. This is our first time we have someone actually calling in and not being here with us. So hopefully that goes well.
We're trying a few things with the audio side, so yeah. If it's bad, sorry. We'll try and fix it, but we'll see.
We're doing our best. If y'all remember the Radio Rebel episode, we had our former Jank House roommate Margie talk about Radio Rebel with us, and Jacob is her boyfriend. So he's here to talk with us about zombies.
Yes, very excited. This is a good one. This is a good one.
This is a good one. You picked a good one. We asked Jacob which one he wanted.
All right, Jacob, I got a couple of important questions for you going into this. Answer. First
Right,
off, what's your experience with DCOMs?
Like growing up.
Growing up, did you watch many? Did you do Disney Channel as a kid, or is it something you just got dragged into because we exist?
Well, yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't watch a whole lot of DCOMs, but I did watch like Disney XD, mostly animated stuff.
Ooh.
Musicals weren't really my thing until I got into high school.
Mm-hmm.
I started acting in musicals myself. Then I kind of got a respect for the craft. But yeah, it wasn't really much of my thing, the DCOM space. And then Jank House happened, and I heard all about it. And your guys' passion for it really you dragged me in, but I was willingly pushing myself along behind you.
Yes.
Just like I love absorbing the knowledge.
Yes, Jacob did not live with us full time in Jank House, but you would visit frequently. And I'm sure you were around for a fair amount of our DCOM watchings. Were you there for Zombies?
I was there for Zombies 2.
Nice.
I think. And I was also there for the initial watching of Cadet Kelly.
I think that was for someone's birthday in the house, so that makes
sense. It is a diabolical DCOM.
It certainly is. All right. Second question. Do you think Zombies is an adequate and reasonable representation of racism in society? And does it adequately describe everything we can take?
Man, that's a deep cut of a question. Well, in my opinion, after watching it, I think that it kind of like, I don't know, it's a good message in being like racism is bad, but like the zombies did eat people at one point.
That's so true.
Yeah, marginalized people don't eat people, and they're not dangerous at all because we're all humans. So it's
that's a fair point.
I understand why the people of Seabrook are a little bit scared by zombies because they know someone who got their ear bitten off by one. Like,
no, and they say in the beginning, oh, 50 years ago they put up the wall to separate us, but now things have changed. Like, it's only been 50 years since
Yeah, we're
they were
chill now.
eating people. Yeah, but
Yeah.
now they should go to school with us. Like, I kind of get the hesitation a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
We need more backstory. Like when I
We
was
do.
watching it, like I was wondering, like, so the government made all these wristbands, huh? When did they discover that? Like,
They were doing
what was the
experiments.
process of? Yeah, when did they want to? Like, is the wider government and like the wider society of humans like cool with zombies, and it's more the Seabrook who
Is
are
Seabrook the
really
only racist one?
anti-zombie? Yeah, they're super racist because they live in the town where it happened, or like
Is everybody
there's
racist?
yeah, is everybody racist? Yeah, there's a few unanswered questions. For the sake of like the bare bones message of racism is bad, I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Like, in my opinion, it's like Baby's first racism movie where it's definitely targeted towards a younger audience.
Mhm.
It's, I was like 6 years old when High School Musical came out. That's how I feel like Zombies is it's kind of like for the first graders that are like, hell yeah, look at this. They're being mean to the zombies. That's not cool. And they get introduced to racism is bad.
Yeah.
I think that if you have like racist parents, like or like a racist community, they're gonna be like, oh, that group of people is evil and nasty, and they'll like kidnap you and like take your money, which is like setting them up to be monsters. So I guess it kind of
expresses that.
expresses that just because people seem like they might be bad doesn't necessarily mean that they are.
Right.
World building says that they actually were. So
I was telling Kelsey when we were
confusing.
watching this, like, where is like the state and national and international government on this? Because we only ever hear about Seabrook, but like these zombies you think would be a way more important deal nationwide.
Yeah, for sure. Even just like scientifically.
Final
Sorry.
question. This one's for all the marbles. What's your favorite song?
Favorite song? I think I like the zombie mash. I don't remember the name. I didn't memorize the names of the songs at
BAMM.
all. That's okay. Yeah, that one. I like that one the most. Because I like techno. It was like electronica. That was fun. I enjoyed that, and also the choreography.
The dancing on this movie
insane.
slaps.
The dancing slaps. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
This is a dancing movie for sure. All right. Well, I think our audience has gotten to know you pretty well now.
Yeah, and we will keep talking about zombies, but first, do we have fan mail?
Yes, we do. We've had some fan mail on our Read It and Weep episode.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is also from Micah McBurney, who said the last one that we said, I like this on the Full Court Miracle, which said, first off, by the way, there's fan mail in the True Confessions episode. So we're sad that's where Micah was saying that they graduated, so congrats to them on that. But beyond that, they said, letting you know that technically speaking, they believe mermaids mate. So that answers the question that we had on the 13th year episode.
That is good to know. That's what you think. Honestly, they're probably mammals. I just don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's probably complicated. So sorry for missing your earlier comment, but happy you're still tuning in and showing. And I saw that they also were excited for our Right on Track episode. So
Yay.
happy you've been watching our content. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
If you want to leave us a comment, you're welcome to on YouTube, although apparently it is possible for us to miss comments on there. So sorry about that. And otherwise, you can email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com. Yeah. And if you have comments that you want Jacob to answer, tough luck.
We'll text him.
You may or may not get a response.
No promises.
All right. We gonna do factos? DCOM duo factos?
I think we're going to do the DCOM duo factos. Wrote a decent bit because there's a lot of stuff for zombies. So Zombies released February 16th, 2018. Notably, that makes it like a Valentine's Day.
Aww. Cute.
So yeah, it's a romance film at the end of the day.
It is.
It's the 104th DCOM.
Yeah, I was 19 when this came out. So I did not watch it before. As I mentioned, I hated it before I watched it. And I was in college. I was like, I'm too good for this. And I loved it. So
Yeah. The director is Paul Owen.
Ooh,
who We've talked about many times
many
in the past.
times.
I don't know if Jacob knows all the stuff he's done, but in terms of just talking about DCOMs, he has done Read It and Weep, Luck of the Irish, Let It Shine, You Wish, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, True Confessions, Jump In, Two Girls, One World, Bad Napped, Camp Rock 2, Cloud 9, How to Build a Better Boy, Invisible Sister, and all 4 Zombies films. Well, the 4th one hasn't come out yet, but it will, and he's the director on it. So a lot of DCOMs.
Solid repertoire.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Respect.
yeah. Honestly, a lot of those are pretty good.
I think it's more hits than misses.
Yeah.
There's some misses in there.
Unlike the
Bad
way you
Nap's
dumb 'em.
pretty bad.
Bad Nap is bad. Camp Rock 2 didn't do Camp Rock 1, but did Camp Rock 2 and Cheetah Girls One World. And those are the worst of those franchises.
But he also did like How to Build a
Um,
Better Boy and Invisible Sister, which
Those
are
good.
pretty
And
good.
all the zombies.
And all the zombies. And Let It Shine as well. Like,
Yeah. And Jump In. Oh my gosh.
yeah. He won a Directors Guild Award for both Let It Shine and Jump In, which honestly, if I had to think about it, I think that's probably the 2 best he did. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
Good on him.
In terms of zombies media, I figured I should note what other stuff. Zombies is a whole franchise. We're going to be covering the 3 movies, and
4.
the fourth one will come out before we're done with this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did Addison's Moonstone Mystery, which was like a TV short series,
What the
but he
heck?
didn't do any of the other zombie spin-offs. There's several of them. I'll talk a bit more about them later. Other than these DCOMs, he's done a bunch of other kids' TVs shows. He's producer and director. The one he's done the most of is Andy Mack, but he's done a lot. But it's mainly the DCOMs. That's his real bread and butter.
That homie is absolutely swimming in money from all that.
Oh my gosh, especially zombies.
Yeah. All right, now for the cast. Everyone in here they're all in Zombies 1 through 3. The majority of them are also in the Reanimated series, which is a current Disney Channel animated show,
Yeah.
as well as other Zombies extended universe content, of which there's a lot. Like, the cast is pretty steady throughout everything.
Which is kind of rare for DCOMs for like the majority of the cast to stay.
But the majority has. So starring as Zed, we have Milo Manheim. So we have already talked about him before. He was in Prom Pack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the whole thing. I mean, this is much more his series.
Yeah.
His first acting role was a guest appearance on the TV show Ghost Whisperer, which I only mentioned because that was the show his mom starred in.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, he's a Nepo baby, which I did not know until this. After Zombies, he went to go on Dancing with the Stars and he got 2nd place. So there you go. And then, yeah, he did Prom Pack. And since we talked about him, because Prom Pack was one of our earliest episodes.
Since it came out and we covered it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's done actually quite a bit. He's a main role on the Paramount Plus show School Spirits. He had a recurring role on Dewey Kamaloa MD, which is a Disney Plus show. He had a major role in the film Thanksgiving. That was like the slasher horror film.
Hmm.
And there's a sequel of that coming out this year, and he's in that as well. And he's also done off-Broadway productions of Little Shop of Horrors and American Idiot.
Fun.
Like, he's just been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's also going to be an executive producer of Zombies 4.
That's great.
Yeah, he's also a co-producer of Zombies 3. So, like,
Okay.
I think that's part of the way they're staying in the franchise, is they're having more control over it.
Yeah, he's got creative control now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if they did that for Zac Efron. No, he actually was in all 3 high school.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come back for the reunions.
Which they got what they needed out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Milo's pretty good. I have no real
I like
complaints about
him.
him. He's always believable.
He's very charismatic.
He does a very good job.
And he can sing and he can dance.
Hell yeah.
Dancing maybe more than singing.
He's good at both.
He's
Yeah.
Starring as Addison is Meg Donnelly.
My love.
Yeah, my DCOM crush is Meg Donnelly.
My DCOM crush is Meg Donnelly, and I'm straight. but I don't care.
She is very hot, and it's okay. We're like the same age.
We're like the same age, guys. It's fine.
Yeah, I think she's a very, very talented actress.
I love
And I
her.
really hope she can break out of just zombies because I think she's got a lot of skill in her.
Mhm.
She starred on the ABC sitcom American Housewife, with every episode except the pilot. So someone else was in her role for the pilot, but that was like a 5-season show or something.
Wow.
She was the main role on the supernatural spin-off The Winchesters. I believe she played the mom of the
She did.
kids, but that was canceled after 1 season.
I never watched it, although I did watch most of Supernatural when I was like a teen. So, and I heard Meg Donnelly was doing that. So, like, maybe I should watch it. And then I didn't.
That's why it got canceled because you didn't watch it.
Dang it.
She has a recurring role in High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Okay. Recurring, that's a little bit of a stretch. I am a High School Musical, the musical, the series expert. Okay. I watched every single episode, like the week it came out, right? She's in season 3, and that's it. She's in like a few episodes of season 3. So I guess that counts as a recurring role. But then there was a season 4 and she wasn't there. I'm pretty sure she wasn't there. So
I'll
Was
trust your
that
judgment
due to
on it.
plot reasons?
I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah.
Okay.
So the season she was on, it was at a summer camp. And then they go back to high school in season 4. So like they don't go back to the summer camp.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really, just a kind of a guest star for a little bit.
Yeah, but okay, in it though, she performs "It's On" from Camp Rock 2, and she's really hot. That's all I'll say.
She's also the voice of Supergirl in multiple DC animated films. She's been doing that since 2023. So,
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like Milo, she's a executive producer for Zombies 4, and I was a co-producer of Zombies 3. So,
If they make a Tangled live action, she's my dream cast for Rapunzel.
that'd be pretty
Oh,
good.
that's based.
That's a good call out.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, I could see it.
I hope it happens. It probably won't.
It probably will. It just will be probably years.
Well, I don't think it'll be Meg Donnelly.
No, yeah.
That's what I'm
That's what
saying.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying Tangled live action feels pretty likely.
Yeah, that'll probably happen, but I doubt it'll be Meg Donnelly, but I want it to be.
Playing the role of Bucky is Trevor Horgeman. He was on the main cast of the show The Next Step for seasons 1 through 4. That was a Canadian teen show that was a drama and dance.
Weird.
It's like popular in Canada.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
Is he Canadian?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
A lot of these are. I believe this filmed in Canada.
A lot of DCOMs are.
And when you film, when they film in Canada, they use Canada actors.
Yeah.
He was also part of the main cast of seasons 5 through 7 of Bunked, because like everyone apparently goes on Bunked at some point if you were a minor Disney Channel star.
I guess.
It's like the longest running Disney Channel show of all time.
Really?
It's like crazy.
Wow.
I believe it has more episodes than any other Disney Channel show. I might be completely wrong about that.
Is that American Disney Channel? Bunked?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a Jesse spinoff officially.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I really don't know much about Bunked. It was clearly past my time.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So was zombies.
he's done not much else other than the Zombies franchise. But again, a lot of these people, Zombies is still an active franchise. So they've had time to break out because this is a 2018 film. But
Mhm.
also, them doing nothing but zombies doesn't mean they won't do stuff in the future.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so funny since he's not doing anything? He shows up on stage at the concert.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be amazing.
It'd be crazy.
Everyone would cheer for him.
I would cheer the loudest. And we're way in the back.
We gotta have a sign up that just says "Go Bucky."
We should do that anyway.
The memes.
Playing the role of Eliza is Kylie Russell. She's the little sister in Jump In,
I remember talking about that when we did Jump In. Hell yeah.
and really hasn't done that much else.
Aw. But she's in all the zombie stuff.
She's in all the zombie stuff.
Yeah. And I guess it's a Zombies 3 thing, but she was like pregnant during Zombies 3. And that's why her whole role in that movie is on a screen because she's hiding that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, just video chatted. But that's a Zombies 3 fact.
Yeah. You save that for that episode.
Yeah.
Erase it.
Cut that out.
Oh man, people are gonna be so excited to learn that fact. Although we're gonna cut it out, so you're gonna have to just wait till our Zombies 3 episode. Uh, she does well in the film. I don't think anyone really does a bad job in this film.
No.
It's really a hammy, campy film,
Love it.
and I feel like that makes it hard to identify people. You have to be having a good time to do the film well. I feel like everyone was having a good enough time.
Yeah, it's very camp. So
Yeah.
nobody does a bad job at being camp.
Yeah, everyone understood the assignment.
Mhm.
Playing the role of Bree is Carla Jeffrey. She had small reoccurring TV shows on like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Southland, American Vandal, and Shake It Up, and then single episodes of other shows. And then she got into Zombies and really hasn't done much since Zombies, but she's been a part of Zombies the whole time. So yeah. Playing the role of Zoe,
Zed's little sister.
Zed's little sister, it's Kingston Foster, who apparently was also in Prom Pact.
She was?
Kind of crazy.
Who was she in Prom Pact?
I didn't write down the role.
I'll look her up.
Yeah. She also had small reoccurring roles in Fuller House and Great News. More recently, she was in Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon films that were on Netflix. The Rebel Moon set of films. I don't care about them. I'm not a Zack Snyder head. She was also in the 2017 film Bitch. And I wrote this down mainly because I was really confused about it. She won a Young Entertainer Award, or sorry, she was nominated for a Young Entertainer Award for Best Young Actress, Daytime Series, for Days of Our Lives in 2020. The reason I think that's weird is she only appeared in one episode of Days of Our Lives.
It left a bit. Hey, it says she's in 2 episodes.
Or 2 episodes, but the 2020 she was only in 1.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. Oh,
Like-
she played Ariana Grace Horton. I guess it must have been a really impactful episode.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
When you click on the Prom Pact IMDb, she's not listed. I think she's just somewhere in the background. That's my
Unpaid
guess.
intern.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hey, Milo, remember I played your sister?"
Playing the role of Bonzo is James Godfrey. He's also in The Swap.
That's DCOM.
That's a DCOM.
Yeah.
He's been in very little else. But again, like everyone who's doing Zombies can also just be doing press for Zombies and
Yeah.
everything.
It was crazy in The Swap hearing him talk, like speak English, and not just zombie.
Yeah, instead of going zigga zagga or whatever.
It's like, it's a dog. He just dropped that zombie.
Yeah, but all he said was he's hungry.
Bow, bow, bow.
All right. And I added a couple other people here. There's like a bunch of minor roles because in Zombies, everyone like reprises their roles basically the whole way through, which is
Yeah.
kind of surprising for DCOMs, but I wanted to list a couple of them probably every time we do a movie because they deserve credit for the whole series, even if like visual episodes, I don't know if they have big enough roles for us normally to talk about.
Yeah, so if there's someone we miss, it might be because we're going to talk about them in the sequel.
So playing Miss Lee, the principal, is Naomi Snekis, who was also in The Swap.
Heck yeah. Her and Bonzo.
Yeah. She was an award-winning improv comic. Like she's won multiple awards for her success as an improv artist. She
Yeah,
worked with
it shows.
Second City Toronto. Yeah, she's funny. She's got good comedic
That was
timing.
all improv, let me tell you.
She's done a lot of other small TV and film roles, but nothing I really cared to talk about. And then playing the coach, who is really the funniest person in the film.
I love him.
It's Jonathan Langdon. He's had a notable role in the film Crap from last year. Also in the Canadian sitcom Run the Burbs. He's like a main character. He's mostly a voice actor now. He voices Barney in Barney's World, which is like the current HBO Barney
Whoa.
franchise. Other shows like Open Season Call of Nature, which I didn't
Shut
know they made
up.
an open season TV show.
Yeah, they did. Oh, remember
Oh my
Open
gosh.
Season?
And My Little Pony Tell Your Tale.
Tail as in a ponytail.
Yeah.
My goodness. No, wait, no, it's not even spelled like that. It's spelled like a story.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like TAIL. That's what it should have been. The coach is hilarious in this movie, and he is in the other ones, but this is
And
the funniest
This is
he is.
yeah, this is the most screen time he gets too.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's a great resource for this film to drop some comedy.
It's so fun that they like made him a character.
You want
They had a
some?
middle-aged midlife crisis
Yeah.
guy.
It's pretty good. Do you want some fun
I
facts
would love
on the
some
movie?
fun facts.
Oh yes, please.
So this film, Zombies, is based on an unaired pilot from 2012 called Zombies and Cheerleaders. It was made by the same writers that wrote this movie. So
I remember talking about this in a different episode now.
yeah. So we know a fair amount about this pilot, but it was never aired, so we can't see any footage of it or anything. Person that was going to play Zed is Kelsey's real DCOM crush,
Yeah.
Luke Benward.
I love
He's known for Minutemen, Cloud9, Girl vs. Monster,
Yeah, I think those were the 3.
and it was along with some other non-DCOM stuff. But we're going to talk about the DCOMs. We're the DCOM duo plus Jacob.
Yeah. Trademark.
Trademark, yeah.
Playing Addison was going to be Maya Mitchell from Teen Beach Movie. Instead, she played the lead in that. So I wonder if this was like in development, they thought they were going to buy the show. These are people that they were working with, and they wanted to get them a TV show.
That makes sense.
And if you think about it, this movie feels more like a TV show than either Zombies 2 or 3 does to me. Although Zombies 3 essentially became a TV show with the reanimated series.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, and it makes sense because Luke Benward and Maya Mitchell didn't have a show. Like, they probably did want to use him more, although they used Luke Benward quite a bit. But Maya Mitchell
only did Teen Beach Movie.
She only did a Teen Beach Movie. Jacob, I don't know if you remember, Maya Mitchell is also in Papa's Best Sauce.
Oh yeah, great role. A huge fan.
Yes, she's Penne. If you didn't know,
She's Penne from Papa's Best
Right.
Sauce. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How could I forget that?
I think you were there when we watched Papa's Best
Yeah.
Sauce.
It's a blur. It was so long ago.
Other people in the cast, like we know some of them. The one I thought was most relevant was John DeLuca, the guy who plays Butchie in Teen Beach Movie, was going to be Bucky.
That's crazy.
So like I think Teen Beach Movie was going to be kind of like, hey, you know these stars from our new show, and then we also have Ross Lynch from Austin and Alley.
Yeah.
But then this show never got funded.
Instead, we got Mila
Six
McDonald.
years later, they're like, we can make it into a movie.
Huh.
And then
I
that
think it was
movie's
fun.
been a very successful franchise.
Mhm.
The soundtrack for this movie peaked at number 55 on the Billboard 200. Honestly, kind of weak compared to a lot of other Disney Channel musicals. I thought it's very strange, but Jacob maybe answered the question. The only single released for the soundtrack officially was BAMM, the Zombieland song.
Not Someday.
Not Someday, which really feels like the main song. I feel like any other song would make more sense, but maybe people like Jacob just think that's the best one. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think the music in this film is anything extraordinary.
No,
They're all at least passable, though.
Yeah, they're all
Except Stan.
passable. They're all passable. We hate Stan. We do not stand Stan. But they're all. There's only like what 4 other songs other than Stand. Like there's really not that many because then they just repeat songs. The music gets a lot better in the next 2 movies, in my opinion. Yeah, and also I feel like it not topping the charts. This movie came out in 2018. I feel like Descendants was ending, and it kind of like so did DCOM musicals. Like they kind of died a little bit. Zombies is the only one still going, other than Descendants: Rise of Red, which sucked.
Well, okay, you say that, but like more realistically, DCOMs have died.
Yeah, but okay, so DCOMs died, and in hand, DCOM musicals died. Like nobody was really watching Zombies when it came out. I don't think.
Well, I'm just saying, Zombies, it got 2.6 million people on its first watch, which is pretty good compared to other stuff around it.
Okay.
It was followed up by Freaky Friday, a musical, and was preceded by Descendants 2 and Tangled Before Ever After, which are both musicals.
Okay, maybe I'm just mixing up because I was 19 and when that came out, so I wasn't watching it, and I was kind of out of the loop. But I don't know, maybe I'm just biased with people our age. They like don't know zombies.
People our age don't know Zombies, and
Yeah.
that's fair.
And that's what I'm biased towards.
I mean, I didn't know about Zombies until we did this.
Yeah, same.
You know about Zombies, Jacob?
Definitely not in my sphere of influence when it came out at all.
Yeah. We were all like starting college.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. A deleted scene in this film revealed that Lacey, one of the ACs,
Yeah.
her real name was Jenny.
What? It's funny because they make a joke in the second one about changing someone's name so they fit in the ACs.
Yeah. Uh, this is the only film that Tracy of the ACs was in. That was Mickey
Yeah.
Nguyen as the actor because he had scheduling conflicts in the sequels, so they replaced him.
That makes I figured there must have been a reason because they do replace him in the next one, and they do acknowledge that they have a new
Yeah.
AC, so they didn't just recast him.
I just like didn't write down the factors for the ACs because A, they're not haven't been in that much, and B, they're really not that much in any of the movies. They're
Yeah.
just clearly like random small bit characters.
They're Bucky's goons.
They're Bucky's goons. That's it. And then yeah, this franchise has had several spin-offs. So I'll talk about them briefly here. We had Addison's Moonstone Mystery, which is a TV show thing. Addison's Monster Mystery, the same thing. The reanimated series, which was a full-on TV show. I think is still actively airing.
Probably.
And you can give them credit for the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide tour, which is about to kick off.
Yeah. That and we were just talking about this with Ben last night. He was over to watch Survivor with us. We're like, when is Zombies 4 coming out? Because they're gonna start touring really soon. And this tour with Descendants, it's like the cast of Descendants Rise of Red and the new cast of Zombies 4. Like they're adding vampires. It's all like the vampire kids. So if Zombies 4 isn't out when they start touring, what are they gonna do? Just do all of the other zombie songs? But nobody knows who these kids are because the movie hasn't come out?
Apparently, I don't know.
Weird. What I want Zombies 4 already.
Give me the content, damn it.
How am I gonna be able to sing along at the concert if they haven't released the movie yet?
All right.
I guess only time will tell.
You ready for the Disney Plus description?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, let's
yes.
talk about something else really quick.
Sure.
Why, in like some instances, the title of the movie is zombies with dashes in between each letter, and sometimes it's not.
Officially, it doesn't want to, probably for search engine reasons, be spelled with dashes, but it's like stylized.
Yeah.
It's similar to like if you look up, like, let's say the band Fun,
Mhm.
it's all stylized in lowercase, but like you can search for it with a capital and stuff like that. Like if you look at, I think the Zombies Wikipedia page, among other things, it will talk about like it's sometimes stylized as hyphenated in between everything.
Yeah. It's just confusing.
It would be a very crazy acronym.
Well, I think it's like a cheerleader
Yeah.
chant.
It's supposed to be like cheerleaders
Yeah.
spelling it out. Yeah. All right. You can read the Disney Plus description now.
Hmm. Welcome to Seabrook, a suburban town preoccupied with uniformity, traditions, and pep rallies, until one groundbreaking semester when students from Zombie Town integrate into Seabrook High School. As the human and zombie students struggle to coexist, a budding friendship between a cheerleader named Addison, Meg Donnelly, and a zombie named Zed, Milo Manheim, could unite their high school and community for good.
Pretty good description. I would say instead of a friendship, it's definitely like a flirty romance.
Also, isn't it Zombieland, not Zombie Town?
No, it is called Zombie Town where they live.
That's annoying.
They just say
They
that
just
they're in
say they're from.
Zombieland. Yeah. They say they're in Zombieland. Is that what you hesitated?
Yeah,
You're like, wait a minute.
Zombieland is the colloquial term.
gotcha.
Isn't it crazy though? It's called Zombie Town, but it's still in Seabrook, right? Or is it
Yeah.
not? Are they just in the
Well,
same school district?
Or
Kinda
you can be in
like,
Brooklyn, and that's New York.
That's true. All right.
That's just probably just a neighborhood.
You convinced
like
me.
Chinatown in New
Yeah.
York.
Oh no.
Chinatown, but less racist.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to jump into the movie?
We are ready to Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior into the movie.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So we open up. And the intro they do is like a comic book illustration kind of thing.
The art style is kind of safety guide on an airplane.
True.
Facts.
Addison and Zed, they both narrate, telling about like the history of Seabrook. Like Seabrook is so perfect here. The homes, the clothes, it's a perfect life.
It's a nice planned community as they show like cutting a flower.
Yeah, everybody wears pastel blue and pastel pink. And everything's perfect. Well, it was perfect until it wasn't.
Yeah. Cool zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
That does ruin some planned communities when that's a little unplanned.
So the way the
This-
apocalypse happened is some lime soda was spilled at like a nuclear power plant, and it caused people to turn into zombies.
Don't question it. They will say through the whole franchise's history is lime soda. That's as much info as we get.
In the power plant.
And the power plant.
Very, very, very like super old school monster flick mixed with high school camp.
Yeah.
And that explains why their hair is green. See, before I watched the movie, I was just mad because I'm like, they're not going to explain it.
Yeah, you
But
thought
then
it
they
was
did.
grape soda.
I'm just like, they're just going to say zombies are people with green hair and they're not actually going to be real zombies. But they do explain it and they do eat people. So I guess it's fine. All right. So yeah, people eat brain, or the zombies eat brain, so they built up a big barrier. But that was 50 years ago. So a lot has changed since then. And then we go into the real zombie town. We're done with the comics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But 50 years is like roughly the time from segregation. So
Yeah, I mean, that was a little different than people killing each other.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kinda like almost at the end of World War II, it's like, oh, yeah, you people were bombing us not that long ago.
Ugh.
Kind of stuff, like, ooh, and I was thinking about that. Like the older zombies, did they eat people?
Yeah, like
It might have.
Zed's dad eat people.
Does Dad eat someone? It's feasible.
This is
We don't know how
these
they're
are the
eating.
questions we need to ask.
And now
Yeah.
it mentions like now zombies are like normal people and they can have kids. Zombie kids? Is it just like two zombies mate and they have a kid? What if a zombie and a human mate?
That doesn't matter because the only no,
It will matter when they integrate.
Yeah.
Bree and Bonzo.
Yeah.
I would say Zed and Addison, but that'd be nope. She's not human. Spoiler alert.
It's a big part of the second and third movie. She's not human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're in like Zed's room and he's like, yeah, scientists found a better way to deal with zombies than just the wall. This is Z-Band.
Okay. We got to mention this because we're going to not really talk about it for the rest of this review, I think. They occasionally just talk to the camera.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's literally talking to the camera.
And it's like something that every zombies movies does. And you will forget about it the second you're done watching the film.
Yeah.
Because it's not done a ton. But they like will just speak their inner monologue to the camera.
Which like it's a way to give exposition. So I guess it works, but isn't it kind of weird?
It's just something there. It's kind of strange.
What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I think when they first started talking at the very beginning and broke the fourth wall to talk to me, I was like, ew, you're like a freshman in high school. I want to
Good point.
like I don't like I was just like, ooh, why are you I don't know you. But it was interesting. I'm sure for someone who is like, kid, it's far more engaging. It's like, oh, you're engaging with me. That's so cool. Well,
Yeah.
when you're older, it's kind of like, why are you talking to me? Like, give me the info.
I'll just see like YouTube culture and go, well, these people talk right to the camera.
They did that in Upside Down Magic.
It might just be a modern trend in kids media.
Like Dora.
Dora did it from the beginning.
Dora's trendsetter.
Dora, the trendsetter.
Except this was far less infuriating than Dora.
True. Issa, turn the wheel, turn the wheel. Issa, have you seen that on TikTok?
Can you see Swiper? He's right
It's right there. Easy to turn the damn wheel. All right.
I digress. Yeah.
Yeah, so Zed looks at the camera and he's like, I'm Zed. Yeah, I'm a zombie. And he like does a little spinny, like,
Yeah, this movie, it takes itself a tiny bit seriously. It feels like it's trying to say it's got a plot and like a message it wants to say, but it also, every character is like designed to be just a little dumb and a little quirky in a way that isn't human, and that's fine. It's like it's consistent.
Also, let's talk about the Z band. So the Z band sends like electric shocks into their body so that they act just normal.
Yeah, they're basically humans because of their wristbands.
Except they have green hair and like really pale skin. How did they discover this?
Probably a bunch of unethical testing.
Yeah. They would capture a zombie.
Yeah.
And they
Bunch of electrodes on him.
and just tase them. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then the zombie went, stop. And they were like, whoa, are you normal now?
It's also very unclear through the whole franchise if the zombies exist outside of Seabrook or if they're limited to just Seabrook, magnified by the fact that the aliens only exist in Seabrook and the werewolves only exist in Seabrook.
Seabrook's just fucking weird.
Keep Seabrook weird.
They have all these monsters and they're extremely racist.
So, yeah, like, who made the Z-Band? Was someone just like, I really want my wife turned into a zombie?
Damn it. I won't stop until I find a cure. Maybe. I want that prequel.
Give me Zombie Zero.
I want to see unethical testing.
The super grim dark version of zombies.
Yeah. So Zed,
No.
so Zed tells us more about, you know, the zombies. So they have to wear government issued clothes, but they like kind of customize them a little bit. They also have a curfew and it sucks. For so long we had to stay in Zombieland, but now we've come a long way thanks to the Z band. And he says today is the first day we get to go to human high school and I can try out for the football team.
This is a football movie.
Yeah. There's not any football DCOMs.
This, Avalon High.
Oh yeah.
You not.
How you wish.
Can of Worms.
Oh yeah, technically.
How to Build a Better Boy. I think those are all of them.
Did they play in How to Build a Better Boy?
The boy does.
Oh, okay.
He throws a football through like the barn.
Oh wow, I don't remember that. Okay, yeah. But I mean there's a lot more hockey, let me tell you. They love hockey.
Oh yeah. It's Canada.
That's true.
It's true.
All right, so next we meet Addison. She's in her perfect pink and black house, and she's practicing cheerleading.
We should mention this because, like, I think we've just glossed over it. Zombies as a franchise has like a very consistent color scheme.
Yeah.
Honestly, potentially my favorite thing about the series, if
So
I'm being
there's,
honest about it.
Like lime green, which makes sense for the lime soda. And then they wear pastel pink and pastel blue, and they also go kind of like a hot pink to match the lime green.
They're always consistent with like how their visuals of every shot, every scene, every set looks. And it like always it makes zombies feel different from everything else. And I appreciate that.
It's really nice. I mean,
it's a good aesthetic.
Yeah, it's a really nice aesthetic, and also like how I mentioned before, I think it's targeted towards a younger audience. There's distinct color differences between the zombies and the normal people. They're wearing pastels. The zombies are like in black and green. Like it just helps show the divide more.
Yeah.
Costume design is very good too for the zombies.
Oh yeah, I love the costumes. Yeah.
The production team, I think they kind of cooked.
They cooked.
Hats off to the production team.
So then we meet Addison. She's looking right at the camera and she goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Addison. I'm going to try out for cheerleading and a crush cheer summer after summer at cheer camp. And I'm going to go out for the cheer squad today so that I'll fit in. And I'm totally normal. Well, except for this wig that I wear, because underneath her blonde wig is like bleach white hair. And apparently she was born with it and she can't dye it. And the doctors don't know what happened, like what's going on here. So she just wears a wig. And she says in some places this hair might be weird in like a cool way, but here at Seabrook, they hate anything that's different. So no one
hair just is xenophobic.
She says no one outside her family knows about it.
It's pretty funny because this is the movie being like, yeah, You can't be racist. You can be racist in both directions.
She's like, I understand you because I have white hair under my blonde wig. Which is like not the same thing.
No,
But
not even close.
it's interesting to me because I wonder if they had sequels planned at this point. Because the rest of the franchise, they're leading up to explaining why she has white hair, basically.
My guess is they had sequels in mind, and it was what we got. But the sequels that they had in mind, like everything was probably back from their original TV show pilot. That's my take.
So they did have a whole arching story plan.
That's my
They
take.
had, yeah, they had some. They must have had a plan. Because if they didn't, that would be the most like underwhelming, like just like you kind of bit. Ever.
It feels very unexplained if you have a franchise that is not
context.
tied. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God they did get sequels because if this was a standalone movie and it's just like I have white hair and I don't know
We
why.
would just consistently be like,
Why?
what?
Why is this the direction they went? But yeah, okay. So then, Zed introduces us. You know, he's looking at the camera still. To his little sister Zoe, and she's playing with a stuffed toy dog. And he says zombies aren't allowed to have pets because some people still think that we're gonna eat them. It's not like 50 years ago we were eating people or something.
Wait, they were though.
Am I being too racist against zombies?
I was about to say topical because of the whole. What was the thing?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Peanuts song. That's the edit I like.
Apparently, that jumped out of me, and I was like, "Oh, topical." Damn,
Yeah.
because they're not.
To be clear, we do not believe
They eat brains. They eat brains. They didn't say anything about animals.
They didn't say anything about eating dog brains. Hello. They eat
that's a
people
delicacy
brains.
across the world.
Yeah, so Zed
That's why we need the lore, dang it.
Zed pretends to be a dog for
Yeah.
Zoe.
Which is super cute.
It's also a little cringe, but it's cute.
Yeah.
It's more cringe when he does it in front of Addison later.
Then it's like,
yeah, that's a little okay, bro.
He like gets under the ground. He's like, because she's young. She's probably like 5, right? 6,
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So then Dad comes in with brains in a can. It's made out of cauliflower.
And they're so excited. It tastes delicious.
And Dad's like, Zed, I'm not so sure about you trying out for football because humans don't like zombies. And Zed's like, they haven't met me yet.
He's very optimistic.
Zed is super optimistic. The whole movie. He's like, we're making baby steps. We're making progress. It's going to be great. So then back to Addison. Her parents are excited for cheer tryouts. Seabrook always wins the cheer competition. We learn that the mom is the mayor and she wants to win she wants to win the cheer competition again, I think, because of the zombie thing. She's like, the city council is making us include the zombies in school. We need cheer more than ever. And make sure you keep your wig on, Addison.
Yeah, Addison, don't take your wig off in the third act.
Normal.
Yeah, go cheer.
No pressure.
Go team. All right.
They all walk out of their houses.
And now it's time for the opening number. The song starts playing. Addison leaves her house. Zed waters a weird zombie weed plant thing. It's like a dandelion.
Oh.
And the song starts. I'm fired up. Try out today. I'm gonna blow them away. Yeah. Dad says I can't go wrong. Oh, as long as I keep this on. She's talking about her wig.
Yeah, it's very direct.
I love this number. It's very upbeat. They go, watch it come together, be the best one ever. You can watch me shine. This is gonna be my year.
It's fun seeing how many different people they have dancing and dancing well. It's a big group number.
The contrast between normal Seabrook and Zombie Town.
It's fun.
It's fun.
A lot of the music in this film is fun, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me introduce you to my friend Eliza. We get to meet Eliza, and she's all about like will never be accepted. Zombies need to rise up. We need a revolution.
Yeah, she is the anarchist of the school.
Yeah, she's
Every
all
school has one.
And just like your average anarchist, also good at computer science.
yeah, for sure.
She's a fun character.
She is fun. Zed is like, yeah, okay, revolution, but today's improvement because baby steps is still movement. Bars. Hey, Bonzo, come and spit a verse. Zig-zug, zippy-dub, zippy-dub, bah. He speaks zombie. He just dropped that in zombie.
Yeah, they have a language in Zombieland.
Within 50 years, they
Within
made a
50 years,
language.
they developed their own language,
Yeah.
very distinct from English. Bonzo presumably can understand English,
Yeah.
but can only speak.
Everybody speaks English
Zombie?
at him, but he only speaks zombie.
Which I guess I've seen that before, where you can understand language, but you only speak your own.
He's like Chewbacca. He's like
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
It's like
Literally like
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. He's super tall. He has a lot of hair.
These are the defining characteristics of Chewbacca. Is this just a Star Wars movie?
Oh man.
Who doesn't map onto their Star Wars character well?
So you saying Eliza's Han?
Yes, that was who I was thinking.
And then Bonzo's Chewie.
Mhm.
And Zed is Luke.
Yep.
But Addison is Leia, but they're together.
It's kind of
it's
where it
episode
falls
5.
apart.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. Then they do the little dance sequence, and it's kind of like hip hop. Oh, 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 oh. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain in a podcast how fun the dance
It's
is.
just big dancing. Everyone's skilled at dancing, and they do a lot of fun stuff with it. But
Mhm.
just go watch it if you don't believe us.
Yeah. To the
A lot of really good shot. A lot of really good shot composition, especially like the
good.
dichotomy between the two groups.
Love it. Yeah.
Cinematography is pretty good. I like a lot at the end of the song the dichotomy of them dancing on the different sides of the fence.
Yes. Yeah. But before the fence, we're at the beach where the cheerleaders are at.
Oh, we get the best line
My
in.
cuz Bucky's the man. Look at how perfect he lands.
For some reason, that sticks in my head more than anything else in this movie.
We quote that a lot.
Look how perfectly he lands.
Yeah. Our very
Bars.
own cheer rock star. Another year, another varsity letter. Whatever. This year we just
I'm
can't
gonna win.
lose.
Y'all can come too.
Yeah. So Bucky's very full of himself. He's a cheer captain.
Bucky is a character I thought was kind of poorly written and stuff until Zombies 3 when I fully came around on him as a character. He is just genuinely evil and a bad person.
Love it.
But since the movie's
Super
camp, I'm
egotistical.
okay with the fact that all of their like every movie, he basically gets a half-baked redemption, but he doesn't change. And I think that was part of what bugged me was
It's like Sharpay.
yeah, but like Sharpay felt more realistic, but then again, this film isn't realistic. And once I got that, I'm like, oh, just let Bucky be a silly little villain, and I appreciate him a lot more after that. He's just a cocky asshole who wants nothing but his own attention boosted. And I appreciate that. He's fun with it.
He is delightfully hateable.
Yeah.
It's fun to hate him. You're like, oh, this
fucker.
this freaking guy.
He's down on knees praying for a sign, and he sees someone with a sign that says "Go Bucky," and he's like, "Yes, I'm in the right."
Yes. This is a sign.
Yeah. So then they finish the number on opposite sides of the fence. So they have different doors they have to go into the high school, separated by a fence. And Zed catches a glimpse of Addison. Oh my god, who's that beautiful girl? And then as they're going in, Bucky taunts like Bonzo on opposite sides of the fence, but then he gets scared because Bonzo kind of like goes close to the fence. But instead of Bucky getting in trouble, the cop goes like, "Hey, we got a problem, zombie." And Zed has to like calm it down. Like, no, because zombies are oppressed.
Yeah, believe it or not, they are going to go for the racism metaphors.
They're gonna show you
Next time.
explicitly racism.
Yeah. And again, like we could wax if this movie does it adequately or not, but like if baby's first racism movie is really the best way to put it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's trying that hard, and maybe you can fault it for not explaining well enough. But like it's fine. It could be worse.
In comparison to some other media that depicts racism between not humans, is like Zootopia, I think is pretty
Mhm.
whack when it comes to the racism element between herbivores and carnivores and all that. But yeah, this is definitely better than that in the sense that the zombies are objectively better now, as long as like things go according to plan.
Yeah.
For the
Right.
most part, unless tampered with, the zombies and shells.
It's apparently incredibly easy to tamper with
Which makes more that they have more control over that than
than
previously
initially.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, later on that they do show that explicitly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then in the hall, Bucky hates zombies, and Addison's like, they're just going to school like us. Addison is interesting because she, throughout the movie, is like, I have to relearn about zombies. But in the beginning of the movie, she's like not that bothered by them or scared of them at all. She's just like,
She's immediately trying to be like welcoming, hopeful, and then like 3 seconds after learning that Zed's a zombie, she's becomes completely radicalized
yeah.
to the point of, oh, my character development's done.
I have less of a problem with that. It's more
Yeah.
like later she has a line where she's like, I have to relearn everything I've been taught about zombies. Whereas in this scene, before she meets Zed, she's like, nah, they're just going to school. Like, I think it'd be more impactful if she also
Was
hated
racist.
zombies. Yeah.
But instead they're like, no, she's just cool with everything.
Yeah, she's just cool.
Well, if she wasn't cool with zombies, it'd be a lot more heavy lifting for the writers to make it work.
True. All right, so Addison's like, they're just going to school like us. And Bucky's like,
Yeah.
like us? I hate zombies. They're not like us. Anyway,
Kendrick Lamar would be like,
they're not like us.
They not like us.
Anyway, cheer tryouts after school. Go Mighty Shrimp. And then Bree comes in and she's very excited. And she meets Addison. She goes, hi, I'm Bree. Bree is such a character. Let me tell you. She's so peppy and she's funny in like a cringe way.
no, she is exactly the camp you want for this role, because again, it's a very intentionally camp movie. And this is a character that in the wrong media would be terrible.
Yeah.
But in this one is perfectly fine to good, you know?
Yeah.
Just another human person.
Just a person.
That's also interested in cheerleading. Yeah.
Yeah, she really wants to be a
And it just
flyer.
shows up out of nowhere with not a lot of exposition. It's
No warning.
Now
just-
Bree and Addison are best
That's
friends,
nice.
and they will act like they've known each other their whole lives, but this is the first time they've met.
That is what freshman high school is like. Let me tell you. First person you meet, best friend.
A shared camaraderie, especially for what I believe what's coming next, or at least later, is cheer tryouts.
Yeah. Yeah, so we learned Bree really wants to be a flyer. That's why she likes cheerleading. And also that the creator of the wave was from Seabrook.
Oh my god, the wave. Kind of weird thing to create, but cool.
The yeah, I did think that was kind of goofy. It's kind of like the standard type of thing.
All right.
The OG of OGs.
So then the three zombie kids go into school and they end up in the basement. And Principal Lee is there to say hi, but she's clearly scared of all the zombies. And she says, don't leave the basement. And Zed asks her about trying out for the football team. And Eliza wants to do computer club. Bonzo likes music. But the principal's like, would that mean leaving the basement? Yeah, so that's going to be a no.
Have a great day. I only mean that as like a saying. Don't actually have a good day.
Yeah, she does say.
Just no fucks given.
She looks like
Totally
she's
dogs on them.
genuinely disgusted to be in their presence.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
A testament to the actress. That was a good performance. It made me mad.
Yeah, she did good. The janitor is now their teacher because he's like the only zombie worker in the school.
He was
He's the
such a
janitor.
DEI hire.
So true. Yeah, he was a janitor like 45 minutes ago, and now he's their teacher because they're like, oh shit, throw a zombie down there to teach him, I guess. And Zed sneaks out.
Really easily, like in front of multiple people's
He
faces.
just leaves.
Yeah. No one cares.
So he's sneaking around the hall, and he tells us, breaking the fourth wall again. He's like, "What am I up to? I'm gonna go find football tryouts." But then he stubs his toe and he starts making noises like ah ah, like a zombie. And one of the ACs sees him and gets freaked out because there's a zombie. So she pulls the Z alarm for zombie, and everyone freaks out.
Do you think these kids do like lockdown drills, but zombie drills?
Yes.
That would have been an interesting thing to see.
Well, it's directly mentioned in the scene when all the cops bust in and make the zombies go up against the wall to be tamed because the alarm went off.
Yes,
Mhm.
Eliza says the drills are offensive and driven by zombie phobia.
Yeah. My main question is, so everyone's running around and getting to their spots. Zed sneaks into a zombie safe room.
Which I thought was funny because he's like, oh, I'm going to be safe here.
Yeah.
That no one went to the zombie safe
No
room.
one else went there
Like Addison.
except that, like, it's literally like the thing you're supposed to go to. What else is this room for?
I don't know. Are there other rooms or are they running outside?
They're
What are they
running
doing?
right by it,
Yeah.
They don't see Zed. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
It's not that they think Zed might be around there.
It's weird. I don't know why no one else goes into the zombie safe room.
It's so that they can have their meet cute.
Yeah, I know. I know why the writers did it. I don't know why.
It's just a bad explanation.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway, yeah, they both end up in the zombie safe room. So the lights are like really low in the zombie safe room, so they can't quite see each other. It's just silhouette. And they go like, hello? And Zed goes, well, hello. And she goes, don't get any ideas, Buster. The only thing deadlier than my high kick is my low kick.
She's a kicker.
I love when she says Buster.
It's not even his name.
Maximum camp.
He's like, sorry, this isn't how I expected my first day to go. And they like talk super flirty, like, I'm gonna try out for football. Oh my god, I'm gonna try out for cheerleading.
And suddenly they're like best of friends. Apparently, Addison's just really easy to become a friend with when you meet.
So is Ed.
Yeah.
I think they're actually really compatible with each other.
I do.
I think they're the most compatible DCOM couple.
We've talked about this before, and I
Yes.
think it's especially Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly have very convincing chemistry to me.
Yeah, for sure.
They do a really good job. I think they're like the most believable couple out of any real DCOM couple.
Yeah.
That includes couples that actually dated.
Troy and Gabriella.
Uh,
Troy and Gabriella are so basic.
Mitchie and Shane.
Shane Gray, no chemistry. They were enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
Different thing.
I don't know enough about it to make any doesn't matter. They do have good chemistry though
Hmm.
in this.
Yeah, so they're talking about like football and cheerleading, and she encourages him that he can make the team because he's like, my dad doesn't think I'll make it. And they're like, hi, I'm Addison, I'm Zed. And then the lights come on, and she goes, zombie, and she punches Zed in the face.
Yeah, it's just full on violence.
But she's like, oh my god, Zed, I'm sorry. My parents always told me zombies are disgusting, dead-eye freaks. Damn.
But
You're not hideous at all.
she immediately gets turned on because he's handsome,
He is.
and that is what radicalizes her. Nothing else really.
They were having
Damn,
this
they can
flirty
be-
conversation.
Zombies can be hot. I'm sold.
Wait, this boy is like funny and flirty and he's cute? Alright.
Is this what Twilight's like?
Yeah, except vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Except he's like really controlling and can read minds.
Because that's a little less problematic.
Yeah.
And by a little, I mean a lot.
And then Bucky comes in with the ACs to save Addison. He's like, stay away from my cousin. And he threatens Zed, and he like calls Addison. I love when he hugs her to take her away, like,
He's just so extra in every way.
yeah, he like sprays like hand sanitizer on his hand after like briefly touching Zed. And Zed looks at the camera and he goes, Progress. Making progress.
Yeah.
I'm
And
a pretty
then
optimistic guy for getting just punched in the face.
It's so true.
the next up is the football tryouts, and I wanted to point out that these are a bunch of people who are working out right next to Zed the zombie. Not only like a zombie, the one that they had his whole thing about and everyone was panicking and going crazy about earlier. It's just like weird that no one really cares in this scene about Zed.
The rules change all the time. Like 1 minute they're like, "Oh, hey, it's a zombie, yeah, whatever." And then but another minute they're running all over scared of zombies. Like they can't make up their minds.
Yeah.
So we're at football tryouts. The coach, we get introduced to the coach, love him. He talks about how like, the team is awful. We suck. And I'm probably gonna lose my job. But good news for you, you all made the team. Whoopee. And Zed's like, "Yeah, I did it." And he's like, except for the zombie. You're not on the team.
Rip.
Principal says you can't leave the basement, so whatever. And Zed's like, "Come on." And coach says, "Hey, no. Like, we're already a laughing stock. I can't have a zombie on the team. And I'm not a trailblazer. I'm more of a follower. Actually, I'm not even good at that."
Funny if you're a coach and you're like, I'm more of a follower and I'm not even good at it.
I'm not a trailblazer.
Pretty
This is
iconic.
the most incompetent coach ever
He's so
in the
funny.
history of ever. But it's so funny because at least he's honest about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm gonna get fired. I suck at this.
It's not gonna be able to move out of my mom's basement.
I just want to keep my job and make some money." Yeah, so Zed leaves disappointed. In the hall, he talks with Eliza and Bonzo. He's like, "Yeah, that sucked. I didn't make football, but I think that cheerleader really liked me." And Eliza's like, "The one that punched you in the face?" He's like, "Yeah, I think there's something there." And Eliza says, "Humans are bad, but cheerleaders are monsters. Things need to change." And then on the wall, there's some spray paint that says "No zombies," but Bonzo changes it to "No zombies" with a K and a W, so KNOW zombies. Like it's one of
Aw,
them.
he knows English.
It's cute.
He just chooses not to speak it.
Yeah.
You can write it. So now we get cheer tryouts. Bucky's there with the ACs. They're the assistant captains. Their names are Stacy, Lacey, and Tracy. The ACs. Today's tryouts are going to be easy, except for doing this super complicated tumble thing. And everyone's like, "Oh my God."
When Addison's like, hey, is this fried chicken or Cajun chicken?
Yeah, she's so prepared. And she's like, "Bree, we got this." So then they sing Fired Up. Benji, you want to talk about how you like this one?
I think Fired Up is a very, very average song, very generic, forgettable, but the pre-chorus is slaps so hard. And that's really there. They're doing the whole tryout everything throughout here. It's a fun scene watching Bucky go on like a tyrannical rampage, ripping up people's like numbers as they're trying out and get cut. It's
Yeah.
very funny how his ego is with that.
And the dancing again is very fun.
Yeah.
And
Like
there's also like no cheer coach at all. It's just Bucky.
it's just Bucky.
just
That's
captain.
a great point.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
He's such a prodigy that they're just like, "Yep, you just own the team now."
I mean, look how perfectly he lands.
So he's like,
It's true.
is he a junior right now? Was he graduated by Zombies 3?
Maybe? He's definitely older than Addison.
Yeah, and he's already captain. So I think he's a junior.
Wait, but Addison's a year younger than Zed, isn't she?
No, they're both freshmen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember Zombies 3. I thought she had another year.
No, they were graduating at the same
No,
time.
they are.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. The song's fun through there, but again, we were made for this. There's nothing we can't do. Like that part goes so hard. And then the rest of the song is just generic cheerleader song.
Get no way. No. We're fired up. We're fired up. We're fired up. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And part of the audition is that you have to like work the crowd and get them fired up. And Bree is just like, "Who are we kidding? I'm not going to be able to do it." And she just gives up.
She gives up before even
Even
trying.
try.
And this is the attitude we're teaching our children.
She goes, "He's going to clip my wings. I'm never going to fly." But then Addison like gets the crowd going and she encourages Bree. And then we get the last chorus of the song, and Addison made the cheer squad. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
But Bree didn't. Like Addison's like, "Hey Bucky, Bree's pretty cool. She has a lot of pep. And Bucky's like, Seabrook is about precision and perfection. Not everyone can hide under a wig. Like, he constantly threatens her about the fact that she wears a wig.
He's flat out blackmailing her. I'm surprised he doesn't do this to keep her on the cheer team later on. Literally say, I will reveal your hair if you defend Zed.
He literally has a silver bullet and he never uses it.
Yeah, it doesn't get
I think he only uses it to, like, knock her down a peg.
Yeah. I feel like he needs to be more blackmailing.
Don't forget, you're a weirdo. Is basically his whole
like, I can ruin your social life.
He probably doesn't want to because of it would ruin his family connections too. Like, he'd be shunned by his family for doing that. Maybe he doesn't care about that. I don't know. But Addison,
it seems like he only cares about the attention.
So true. Addison says, "Pretty please," and he just gives in. So, like, he cares about Addison and he'll do stuff she wants because she says, "Pretty please."
He has a soft spot for her.
Yeah.
At this point, she hasn't done anything pro-zombie, really.
Yeah. Not that he knows. So, Bucky lets her on the squad as a stand-in. And then Bucky gives a speech. Ready? People love cheer. That's what makes me so important. I'd hate to see that change. Change is upon us now that zombies are here. Cheer is being threatened. CHEE, are you ready to protect it? The cheer initiation begin.
So delightfully camp.
CHEE, are you ready to protect it is amazing.
Because it's so fucking, like, ham-fisted. It's so forced.
Yeah.
But it works.
It works.
It just works.
It works. So now it's time for cheer initiation, which just means hazing zombies.
Yeah, for real. Let's just go commit vandalism real quick.
Yeah. So they go into Zombie Town, and they're outside Zed's house. Like, we see Zoe get called in for dinner. Bucky says, every year for cheer initiation, we remind zombies that we don't allow freaks in this town.
Which I feel like makes a lot less sense every year before this year, when the zombies weren't at school.
Yeah.
They were just like, let's go hate on these people that we don't know.
That we never see around town.
Yeah. Let's go to the projects and vandalize people's houses.
Yeah.
It's like, basically what they're doing.
Hey, Addison and Bree, go egg that house. Yeah, go egg the house. And Addison's like, I don't want to. And then a zombie shows up, who we later see is Eliza's mom. And she's not even being mean. She's just like, you guys lost? And they
panic
out.
And drive away.
Yeah.
Leaving Addison and Bree.
Yeah, so they just kind of run and hide. And the lady's like, whatever, and leaves. And then Zed comes out, and the dad's like, is everything all right? And Zed spots Addison hiding. But then says, like, no, nobody's here. And she looks really disappointed. And then Zed goes back in.
Like, I know they're bad when they're, like, doing a bad thing here. But, like, how bad of a thing has Addison done so far in this moment, other than be a part of a system that was going to try and egg? She wasn't wanting to egg the house.
Zed doesn't know that.
Yeah. Zed can be disappointed, but she feels so disappointed in herself, and I feel like she hasn't done really that much.
Oh, yeah, she's disappointed in herself and just kind of the whole system of, like, dang, I didn't know that zombies were her ass like this.
Yeah, she never understood that racism exists.
Yeah. So then they throw away the eggs and leave. They just threw away $10
for really good eggs.
Yeah, this turned into a horror movie briefly. Our current economy.
The economy is in shambles. Nothing. I'm just thinking about the world building again and how crazy it is. Let's continue.
We'll keep going. All right, so now we learn it's a new day at school. Pep rally is going to happen today. Addison runs up to Bucky and is like, hey, zombies are students here too. Like, picking on them isn't right. And Bucky's like, zombies distract people from what's really important. Like, cheer, us, me. But we can't just torment them. And he's like, it's best if you don't question things.
Simmer down, child.
This is the way it's always been.
Yeah, and
how dare you question it?
It's crazy. His motivations are purely, I want all of the attention on me.
Like, it's very arguable Bucky isn't even racist. It's just purely egotistical narcissism.
Yeah, he's just like next level narcissism.
Like, let's think about that. Is Bucky racist? Like,
yes.
I feel like it's just a
Yes.
side effect of the narcissism.
He's both.
Okay. But I feel like if you
He
fixed his
uses it to his
narcissism,
advantage.
he wouldn't really care about the zombies being there. He just likes the status quo where he's on top. I feel like he would use the zombies to make himself look better.
What if the zombies worshipped him? Would he like it?
That's a good question. And maybe not. Well, at the end of the movie, the thing that wins him over is Zoe calling him the best cheerleader she's ever seen.
True.
So you feed his ego, you get a long way.
Yeah. All right. Well, Zed vents to Bonzo and Eliza about not making the football team, and he's like, "Thought Addison was cool, but she's not. I thought she was the one."
She was more like the person that punched me.
Yeah. All cheerleaders are terrible. And then right on cue, Addison shows up behind them in the basement, and she sends the janitor away. She's like, "Somebody yacked in the cafeteria," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm still the janitor." All right. So he leaves, and Zed's like, "What are you doing here?" And Addison's like, "I came here to apologize. My cousin's a jerk about zombies, and last night was cheer initiation. Not that that's a good excuse, so I'm really sorry." It's a good apology.
Yeah, she does fine.
Even though she didn't technically do anything wrong, no houses were eggs.
True.
So
True.
she threw away. She was just there.
She should have given them the egg.
Yeah, she knocked on the door and said, "I hate you eggs." I don't know how that would have gone.
That would be so cursed. Imagine every year around this time, someone in your neighborhood is gonna get egged, and it might be you, and then a bunch of humans show up, and they're like, "Here's some eggs." I'd be like, "You were gonna egg us, weren't you?"
I'd be like, "This threat?"
So I kind of that makes sense why they hid in retrospect.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if you just don't egg them, like it should be fine. Like it's not illegal to be in Zombieland town. So
I would have made some deviled eggs and then brought those over because those are delicious.
back,
It's you just dreaming about food.
make them look like little brains. Yeah,
Oh, it's like I made them green.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like this is getting more offensive.
Yeah, maybe it was best just to throw them away.
The fictional zombies. Yeah.
Right. So Zed says, "What if Bucky sees us talking to each other?" And Addison's, "We'll just make sure he doesn't." "Well, I see you guys at the pep rally?" And Eliza's like, "Zombies don't do pep rallies." And Zed says, "We'll think about it." Apparently, the zombies are allowed to go to the pep rally despite not being allowed out of the basement.
Again, the rules just change
All the
on a
time.
whim.
That's the problem throughout all of the zombies films. I'll be real.
They're very inconsistent with the rules.
Yeah, they're very inconsistent with like where they allow zombies and like later werewolves to be. It just
It's a time of a cultural transition. So I kind of gave it a pass. I was like, all right, the school board said so. But speaking of, who is the school board? You think the school board made for people in the community? I feel like if everyone in the community hates zombies, they would get mad at the school board making this decision and like an election or something. But
why it was like the city council decided this. Why did they decide this?
is this like a larger city that Seabrook just happens to be a part of, or like
Is the state like y'all are being racist?
yeah, it's like what's the deal here?
What is Addison's mom, the mayor's stance on the issue? We know she
She
doesn't
hates
like zombies.
Yeah. Which I can't wait till Zombies 3 to talk about
Oh,
it.
yeah, no. Zombies 3 fucks up this relationship, but we'll talk about that in Zombies 3.
Okay, so they're prepping for the pep rally. Addison tells the audience, "Of course that isn't coming. Zombies at a pep rally? That'd be serious drama." And then Bree goes, "There's zombies at the pep rally."
And she is so
Ugh.
excited.
Yeah. And it's more than just Zed, Bonzo, and Eliza. At first I thought it was just those three, but we see other zombies there too. It's like it'd be so stupid if it's just those three.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
why are
Bucky's
these
like,
three left?
hey, go get the spirit sticks.
Yeah, go get the spirit sticks. Eliza is not happy to be here, but Zed and Bonzo are more optimistic. So then the pep rally starts and they start cheering. Bucky jumps through a giant banner of his face, revealing another giant banner of his face behind it. It's amazing.
The most extra guy ever.
It's so funny. And he says, "Welcome to the rally. It's gonna be a great year. We're gonna win state cheer championship again." And Bonzo and Zed like it, but Eliza still doesn't. And then the cheer routine starts, and they do the spirit sticks, which are basically big sparklers.
And zombies occasionally in zombie media are afraid of fire.
Yeah, is this a common thing?
I have seen it before.
Like Frankenstein.
Oh,
Yeah. The undead are kind of dry and withered, so they light on fire easier.
is that what it's like in Minecraft?
Yeah,
I think
they
so.
do burn.
Yep.
So do people.
Yeah, well, like they burn in the sunlight.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's some classic zombie media lore they're dropping with them being afraid of fire.
mhm.
Which is
That doesn't make much sense to me, considering that like they're not undead, they're not like withered, they're still like people with functioning organs. They're
Yeah.
just like affected by
And
a
they
lime
grow.
juice cloud.
They grow. They like are
it
children
is
and they
interesting.
grow.
None of
They
these
can
people
reproduce.
are
So
undead unless this like nuked a whole town that then regenerated. We don't get much explanation. They could all be dead.
Do they have a heartbeat?
Maybe not.
Never
Maybe that's what the Z
specified.
band is giving them is a pulse
That'd be crazy.
because it's pulses of electricity. So maybe that's what's happening. They have a synthetic heart.
that makes them not want brains.
Yeah. So Bonzo freaks out about the fire. Zed tries to calm him down, but gets pushed over, and the Z band gets like damaged when it gets hit. Which, like, what the heck?
These Z bands are apparently made terribly.
Terribly.
If you can have a light hit like this, make it malfunction.
Yeah. So Zed like kind of becomes a monster. And everyone's running all over the place. And Addison gets tossed into the air and is about to hit the ground, but Zed saves her. And before he gets over to her, he like runs through a bunch of the football players, and they soar through the air. They died.
They ragdoll.
Yeah. Yeah, like
They're dead.
car crash level ragdoll physics. Yeah, crazy hit.
Yeah. And the
I
coach
don't
was
think
like, "Oh
those hurt
shit!"
people well. Yeah. Not even worried about his offensive lineman that just got red zombie.
No, he's just excited. And yeah, so Zed catches Addison, and she's all smitten. But the coach, like, they don't really have time.
His band like fixes itself as
Oh yeah, as he catches Addison, it like hits the ground again, and it gets fixed. And they don't have time to interact because the coach is like, "We gotta talk."
yeah. She's so turned on though.
Oh my god, I would be too. So then Coach talks to Zed and the principal. We learn that Coach wants Zed on the team. He's like, "With a monster player like you, maybe I can keep my job, move out of my parents' basement, get a cat, get a gym membership, turn it all around. I need you, Zed."
Zed takes a moment to like be really happy and celebrate.
Who's the zombie? I'm the zombie.
And then he turns around and he's like, "Well, I have a couple of conditions." He takes advantage of his power.
He really does. It's really smart because you think his pure motivation is football, but it's not. It's for zombie acceptance. So he says, "I want full integration for all the zombies." And the principal's like, "You haven't even won a game yet." And he's like, "Yeah, well, so?" And he's like, "All right, out of good faith, I'll let zombies eat in the cafeteria. And once you start winning games, we'll talk about the other demands." Deal.
Yeah, that's the football game, man. Let's go. I don't have much more to say.
I was just pausing for comment. Anything, Jacob?
Oh, I was just looking up something because I was thinking, do principals and stuff hire like the coaches or like manage like the coaches as like the head boss of school proceedings? Because if he's being like, "Oh, I'm gonna get fired," does he just like just saying like to the principal like, "Yeah, I know you're gonna fire me." So like if he wins, will you not fire me?
It's up to the principal, right?
That
Yeah,
would
I
make
think
enough
so.
sense to me.
He's just so defeatist to a fault. It's so funny to me.
It's so funny. So then at lunch, Principal Lee announces that zombies are now allowed to eat in the cafeteria, and she says, "Just deal with it," because everyone's like, "Ah, what the heck?" And then the zombies come in, and
They all sit at their own table.
yeah, Eliza's like, "Dang, Zed, you really delivered." And the zombies go back by the garbage cans, and Zed and Madison kind of share a look.
Also,
Um,
the food that they get looks
oh
awful.
my god, it looks so bad. It was like
It's-
slop on a piece of bread.
Yeah, toast and slop. That's literally it.
Is that just for the zombies? Because it looks like all the humans have like normal
But
food.
maybe that's what the zombies like to
They
eat.
have the people have like really good looking food from what I remember. And yeah, it was literally bread and slop for the zombies. However, I will say this. Sitting next to the trash cans, that's like the optimal place to sit at lunch because then you can just like
You just lean over, yeah.
But
You
it's
just
also
dump it and then you can just
stinky.
walk out.
I think they're far enough away that they don't have to smell it. They'll have to smell their food more.
Stinky.
Yeah, I suppose if you had stinky garbage cans. At my high school, the garbage cans were never really that stinky.
Really?
They normally get replaced every lunch period.
I guess because they fill up.
So you don't have long time to smell.
Yeah. All right. They actually like sitting by the garbage cans. Actually,
Better than a
Yeah, don't forget,
basement.
they're little freaks.
they're like freaky. Addison stares dreamily at Zed as Bree just rambles on. She's talking to herself. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I just love flying, but oxygen is overrated, just like dirt. And like, I hate doing the dishes, but I love soap." Like that is what she says. There is barely a through line there.
It's really funny because again, Bree is almost not really a character in this film. This is like the last time we hear her talk
But it's
for
not
like
for a while.
an hour
though.
of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just no actual it's
Flying,
funny.
oxygen, dirt, dishes. I love soap.
And Addison wasn't listening. Bree just needed someone to talk, and Addison's a sponge.
Yeah, because Addison's staring at Zed, and she tells Bree that her heart is racing and her palms are sweaty, and she's like, "Do you have the flu?" And Addison's like, "No, it's Zed." And Bree's like, "Oh my god, you like him? You like a zombie?" I like how she says like.
Mhm. And yeah, Addison's like, "Oh my god, you're gonna hate me, right?
Yeah, that's bad, right? Really
Are we
bad.
still friends?"
You hate me, Bree, because I like a zombie. Bree's like, "No, I have your back no matter what. We've known each other for 2 days." She says, "I just don't want anyone to break your heart or devour it. But this is great. I promise I won't tell anyone." And Addison's like, "Well, nothing's gonna happen. He probably doesn't even remember my name." He literally just saved her.
Immediately.
Yeah, he literally just saved her. And he says, "Addison!"
Hello.
I'm more thinking he called her by her name before he even saved
She was in the basement.
Yeah.
He was like, "Addison, what are you doing here?" And she's like, "He probably doesn't even remember my name."
idiot.
You've had multiple conversations.
Yeah. You were outside his house with a carton of eggs.
You're a very noteworthy person in his life,
Yeah.
as far as humans go.
So Addison, like, Zed waves over, like, "Addison," and Addison says, "I can't be rude," so she goes over to the zombie table, and everyone stares at her, and she tries saying something in zombie, that she looked up on the internet, and he's like, "You just thanked me for rubbing peanut butter on your umbrella. My umbrella."
Yeah, maybe don't try and speak a foreign language if you can't.
Yeah, you know what? You should never try.
He's
Speak your
like,
one
I
language.
looked it up on Google.
I started taking Duolingo.
Duolingo zombie goes pretty hard.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, well, I meant to say welcome to the cafeteria." And then Bonzo gives Addison an apple that's carved like a flower.
Very impressively.
It's really cute.
Yeah, you can see the flower. He was working on it in the scenes leading up to that.
Yeah.
It was a cool touch.
It was.
It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. I like that.
Yeah, and he also had like an apple on like a spinny thing, and he was like peeling it. Maybe that's how he does it. I don't know.
He just doesn't like apples.
He's an artiste.
He is. Elias is like, "What is she even doing here?" And Addison's like, "Well, I just wanted to thank Zed," but as she's talking, she gets hauled away by the ACs. And they're like, "What are you doing talking to zombies?" And she says, "Fighting against intolerance." Oh, Addison. This is what she's like the rest of the series. She's like,
It's really her character arc has already finished.
yeah, she said, "Everybody's my friend." I don't care what they're, which is good.
Everybody's a homie.
Yeah, everybody's a homie.
Also,
Werewolves,
I care about cheers, so
zombies, werewolves, they're my homies.
Aliens?
What if they're our friends?
What if they're
So the ACs tell her cheerleaders don't support freaks. You know, Bucky said there was something different about you, Addison. What, do you have like an overbite or something?
my God.
And she's like, no, I'm totally normal. And so they threaten her and walk away. And she leaves. And Zed looks sad and follows her away. So then Zed finds Addison by the trophies in the hall and he gives her back the apple. And she says, I'm sorry I couldn't sit with you at lunch. I wanted to. And he says, no, I get it. Someday, maybe. Wink.
Oh my god, that's the name of the song. They say the names of the songs like many times.
Oh, yeah.
throughout.
Earlier she's
They'll-
like, I'm so fired up.
Yeah, they'll say fired up. They say my year multiple times.
They do?
Mostly like in the like leading into the song.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
like it is spoken, not part of the song.
Yeah.
Try to think.
They say stand? No.
I don't think they say BAMM either.
No. Well, yeah. So she says, thank you for saving me. And he's like, hey, well, it totally worked out. Now I get to play on the football team. Maybe things will change and we can hang out in public. She's like, yeah, that would be something. You know, this town, this school, it's hard not fitting in. And Zed says, how would you know? You're perfect.
And then she's like, you know, this deepest, darkest secret that I have that I've told nobody? Let me tell it to someone from the social out group that even though I do trust and think as a friend, like, you've only known for a couple of hours, maybe. What if he is evil, like everyone was saying?
It's been a couple days, and she has a crush on him. He's like, you're perfect. She's like, it's a wig. It's a wig. My hair is freakish.
I'm not perfect.
No.
If I'm so perfect, why do I feel so limited?
And he's like, can I see it? And she's like, no. Like, he immediately is like, I want to see. Your hair's freakish. It's literally
the thing that
bleached.
This thing you're super embarrassed about. Let me check that out.
I'm gonna check that out though. Wait, I want to see.
Wait,
Your emotional scars.
it's so bad.
Oh, you're right. You are ugly.
See ya.
You're right. Actually, I can't hang out with you anymore. Your hair is so ugly.
Oh my god. The most insane turn of events that would be. Oh my gosh.
Movie over. Yeah,
Turns out having weird hair is worse than being a zombie.
like I know my hair is green, but your hair is white. Ew.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so she says her parents always made her hide it, and they were right because now she's on the squad and she fits in. And then they hear people coming, so they run into the zombie safe room. And that's where they first met. And it's like, this is where we had our first one. Haha. And then they pull out their kazoos. And they have a kazoo duet.
You know, they got really beautiful kazooing voices.
They really do. They really do. They harmonize their kazoos perfectly.
So
The
someday,
acoustics in the zombie containment room are nice.
yeah, someday is kind of the breakout song of this.
Yeah, it's
the one that's
go song.
lasted the most.
Yeah,
out of
they
the
reprise
songs.
it in the other movies.
It is the song of the franchise, like in terms of
Yeah.
that.
So-
It's good. I personally is my favorite out of the songs in this movie,
Same.
but I also don't think any song in this movie is particularly extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of them blew me away.
Yeah, I think Zombies 2 has better music,
So
as probably Zombies 3 does too.
Yeah, I do think this movie has the weakest music, but it's not bad.
It is completely passable at its worst,
Yeah.
other than Stand.
Other than Stand. Someday, this could be ordinary.
And I like their chemistry again in this. That's a cute.
It's so good. And they're both such good dancers. I think one thing that I love about this couple over other DCOM couples is that they're both really competent dancers. And I feel like no other DCOM couple has that. Maybe like Teen Beach Movie.
Yeah, I feel like they're both adequate in that, but it's like maybe
it's
their
different.
character wise
Yeah.
doesn't.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way they dance together, I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah, they're very, very believable, even in the performance art part up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Like,
fun.
that's very
They use the room and the lights and they do shadow stuff and it's very proppy and it's fun. And there's one point where he says, hanging out anywhere we want, like they're gonna be able to hang out anywhere they want. And early on when I would listen to the song, once I thought he was saying, making out anywhere we want. He doesn't say
You're like, whoa there.
my team. But yeah,
That is way too spicy for a
yeah,
DCOM.
it's also very presumptuous of him to say. They haven't even gone on a date yet. But
I mean,
yeah.
he does say she looks delicious.
Oh, I mean gorgeous. And I also like the part where she mimes like she's gonna punch him again. Yeah. And then Addison leads them out in the bridge of the song. Let them talk if they wanna. And so they're kind of casually walking in the hall and people are around them. And they're like, we're not together, haha.
Oh
But we
my
are
god, is this
together.
Romeo and Juliet now?
Mhm. And then they finish up the song and the bell rings and they go their separate ways.
Now it's time for football. This is a football movie.
Ball. Zed is very excited and he's trying to talk to his team. He's like, yeah, come on, guys. There's no I in team, but there is an I in zombie. That doesn't matter. Whatever. Let's go. And nobody likes him.
The offensive line is literally not blocking people just so he can get hit.
Yeah, they're letting him get hit. And to me, it really looks like Zed is a running back, but later he says he's a fullback.
They say he's a fullback. I don't know their offensive scheme well enough to fully identify this. Nerd football talk for 30 seconds warning.
That's right. You're a certified sports fan. No shit. So
I'm a sports boy. I will answer this question. Honestly, the position we see him play most is a wideout wide receiver. That genuinely, but because they always have him out wide and they sometimes pitch him the ball, they sometimes do it direct. He really is more just a wildcat quarterback. In high school football, it's very common for your best athlete to be the quarterback, period.
He's definitely not the quarterback, though.
But he's definitely, yeah, he's not the quarterback. He never throws the ball, but he takes a lot of snaps under center. I would say the most normal position we could say that he is a running back, but he's doing everything. He's kind of just athlete. But he doesn't play.
I do have a question for you though, because I was thinking about this. If you had a football team that you were the coach of or whatever, and one of your players had superpowers, what would you do? Would you even would you even use the regular setup? Would you even use the regular play?
No, I do think I would
the same positions.
I do fully think I would reformat my entire offense to be around what is the every play we're going to do is Zed running the ball because why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So the entire offense's system is going to change. It'd have the offensive line is only going to be doing run blocking and they're going to be making specific holes and stuff where they're going to try and run in a specific way. You need to know more about Zed's specific potential weaknesses. Can he still fumble if someone hits the ball and certain other things happen and plan around that? But yeah, I would completely change the entire playbook around Zed and hope he doesn't get injured because then you're just fucked.
Then you're fucked.
You're toast because the rest of the team is garbage.
And they're not going to be well set up to have someone be a replacement Zed. You just recruit another zombie.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so just side note, Zoe's in the audience and loves cheerleaders, and that'll come back later. So at halftime, it's 22-0. Seabrook is losing against the Eels.
Yeah, the Eels are kicking their ass.
The Shrimp versus the Eels. In the locker room, okay, this part is so funny. Coach is drawing on a chalkboard. He's like, here's what you need to do. Yeah, he has all the circles of the teams. Here's what we need to do. All right, move forward. Move all the way forward. Just don't go back here. There's nothing back here. Just move the ball up. Just do something.
It's so fuck it. We're gonna lose.
Yeah, truly at the end of his rope.
He says, we were gonna lose, and you knew it too. So let's just get out there and lose better. Go team. And then it's this kind of coaching Zed, and he's like, shame on me for dreaming. What's happening with you? Zed's like, I don't know, it might be team chemistry. I'm not sure they're really blocking for me. And then the principal just appears. And she's like, hey Zed, you're losing. Go win or you're going back to the basement.
I love how transactional this is.
For real.
I also think it's wild that there's not a single other person on the football team that's a character other than the coach, but like
Yeah.
no other player. But there's all these like, oh, my team isn't blocking for me and stuff. There's beef on there, but there's too many characters already.
Yeah. Then the principal says in front of Zed, way to go, coach. Now people hate us and we're losing. My God.
Principal's great.
Principal's got a lot of zingers in this movie.
Yeah, for real. The coach asked Zed, what about the pep rally? Like, what happened to that? And
This is-
Zed's like, oh, my Z band. And he's like, yes, do that. And Zed's like, oh.
Yeah, he doesn't fully tell his coach like, oh, that would really be cheating, giving me powers. He's just like, do it before you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
This is very random to bring up now, but I realize I don't think we've mentioned it. All of the zombie characters have the letter Z in their name.
Yeah.
All zombies are named with Z.
Yeah, and this is something true for the whole franchise, so it's easy to tell if a person's a zombie or not, just if their name has a Z in it.
Yes.
They do that with the rest of the.
Oh, hell yeah.
All the werewolves have
Hell yeah.
W's.
All the aliens have A's. And I'm sure all the vampires will have V's.
I believe we know the names of the vampires.
Yeah. And all the humans just have a name.
Yeah.
My God, her name's Addison.
Yep, it was planned.
Okay, anyway.
Mind blown. Crazy.
God, if you haven't seen Zombies 3, you didn't hear that.
If you haven't seen Zombies 3, I'm kind of surprised you were listening to this podcast if you were planning to watch Zombies 3.
Maybe they're like, oh, I'll listen to Zombies 1 first, and then, I don't know.
It's not the biggest of spoilers. I guess for Zombies 2, it's a spoiler.
Yeah. Anyway, Zed goes to
Whatever.
Eliza. Yeah, Zed goes to Eliza to hack his Z band and make him a little monster like free.
Just imagining the face.
She says no
Oh.
at first, and he's like, but if we win, like this is good for zombies, so you should do it for the greater good. And she's like, it's dangerous, I don't know, but she does it anyway because she does want equal rights for zombies. So, she
So
hacks
they
into
just go and cheat at football.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, your Z band is hacked. Swipe left, never swipe right, right? Because then it'll corrupt the software.
You can only go more zombie. You can't go less zombie.
Yeah, unless you're already more zombie, then you can go. You can go
Yeah,
back.
you can go back to your baseline.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty stupid, especially because you could actually do that. But at the same time, she's literally jailbreaking something, so there's going to be less safeguards. So whatever.
Yeah. So he gets back out there. Team still hates him, but he swipes left on his Z-band. He gets a little freaky, and then he tears through the other team.
Yeah, he just immediately bodies them all.
Gets straight up superpowers.
And then he's also the kicker.
Yeah, and he kicks the ball into like another player.
Yeah, just out of town. It's gone. You're not getting it back.
Mm-hmm. Addison's super excited for him, and Bucky's not. Addison does a little zombie cheer, and Bucky's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And Addison's like, "I'm cheering. The team hasn't won in forever. We can help cheer, and maybe that'll help them win."
Pretty sure they were going to win either way. But
I don't know how much the cheerleaders are helping.
But they always cheer,
Yeah.
and they're like the best cheerleaders ever, and they haven't won before.
I was thinking that it would be so like demoralizing because like the whole point of cheer is to like make the crowd hyped so that you have more engagement at sporting events. So if you lose every sporting event, it's like why are we even?
People are going to watch the cheer.
That's
Yeah.
what it's like in
We're
Bring
gonna
It
watch
On.
the cheer, yeah, which is pretty cool. Like that they're so focused on cheering as a sport. More so than the actual sport that it's meant to accompany, which is interesting.
The whole town cares about cheerleading and not football. So yeah, Bucky's like, no, we're not going to cheer for them. Meanwhile, Zed scores more points and they win. And then Zed puts his Z-Man back to normal and the team hoists him up. So they like him now. And Addison goes up to Zed and says, "You were amazing." And then they hug and it's so cute, especially because they have a huge height difference. I love a good height difference and I think it's because I'm short.
You are short.
And like, I think Meg Donnelly's pretty short, and Milo Manheim is definitely pretty
Milo
tall.
Manheim's tall. I'm gonna look up how tall he is.
I'll look up how tall Meg Donnelly is.
See, do you think their height difference is more or less than us?
I think it's less. She's 5'3".
Milo Manheim's 6'3", so they're a full foot.
Oh, and we are like 11
Or
inches.
11 inches.
So they're actually more. Dang. But I'm shorter than Meg by 2 inches. And he's taller than you by a couple inches.
That makes sense to
Yeah.
me.
Okay, so then at Zed's house, a little time has passed. His flower is like alive now. That's cool. And he says, life is good. At school, the gate in the front is being removed, and the principal makes an announcement about zombie pride. Like, yeah, we like zombies now. At lunch, people are sitting with the zombies now because they really like them, and Bucky is not happy about it. And he angry stares at them. And Addison wants to go over there, but Bucky stops her and he says, you're either pro cheerleader or you're pro zombie. You need to decide now.
He's like, but I'm a cheerleader.
I'm a cheerleader. I've always wanted to be a cheerleader. And he's like, well, good. He walks away.
Yep. Man, who knew the worst people in the world were cheerleaders?
And then Zed tries to wake Addison, but she cries.
But she does her best to cheer him on in her own way.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be covert about it.
Yeah. That's cute. Bucky tells the ACs that the zombie trend will pass. They won't win another game. To them winning more games. There's a whole montage. Yeah, there's a whole montage of them winning games. And at one point, Zed's number on his jersey changes to Z. Which, like, that's not a number.
Instantly disqualified.
The rules don't say you can't have a zombie on your team or a dog, but it does say you can't have the letter Z.
They say at one point they win 5 games in a row, and then the movie ends with Homecoming. What?
Yeah, Homecoming typically is not the last game of this season,
Why
but
would they say
whatever.
just, like, the championship?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, guess we won't care. Zombies get more and more popular. Eliza gets to go to computer club. Bonds gets to go to music.
Everything's great and grand. Woohoo!
Addison walks by Zed, but the ACs don't let her say hi. But then when Zed opens his locker, some confetti shoots out, and there's a note that says,
she really rigged this up so confetti would like launch out of the locker.
It's so cute. It says, cheering for you on the inside, XO Addison. It's so cute.
Loki, when he opened the locker and the confetti shot at his face, I thought he was getting like hate crime for a split second. And I was like, oh, never mind, it's chill.
Hate crime, but with confetti.
Yeah, notably, like everyone in the school is now pretty cool with the zombies except Bucky and his goons.
Which, like, why wouldn't he jump on the bandwagon if it makes him popular?
Because he's still he's that good at cheer that he will be popular no matter what.
Dang.
He just wants to be the only popular one.
True.
They're stealing his thunder and he can't have that.
Yeah. So then after another football win, Bonzo kind of like creeps up next to Addison and gives her a note, and then he like hugs her. I think it's really cute. It's like a side hug before he walks away. Bonzo loves giving hugs.
He's the hugger.
Yeah. And the note says, ready to break every rule in the book? Meet me at the barrier 7 p.m. tonight. Zed. Addison's like, I'm in so much trouble. And then she looks at the camera. I'm in.
So dramatic. I think they do like a commercial break. Like the commercial breaks in DCOMs, especially like in some more modern era, usually not that identifiable.
They are
in this movie.
Yeah.
And like these are
very obvious.
These are made for TV. I'm not gonna like say it's bad to have very obvious like commercial break moments. Because again, they're made for TV. That's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
They are very obvious.
They are. Yeah. So then Addison meets Zed at the gate in Zombie Town, and she's like, I'm totally not freaked out at all. And then he's like, you're gonna love this. And they hold hands. Go in. It's so cute. And so he takes her into Zombie Town, and they're in an elevator, and Zed kind of grabs his arm with the Z-band, and Addison's like, are you okay? You don't look too hot. And he's like, no. And she's like, no, you know what I mean. Haha, they're being flirty. And then he just tells her, he's like, I mess with my Z-Man to win games. They're just so honest.
They're very honest. They're like, you can't.
They cheated in football.
I have a wig. But yeah, and she's like, isn't that dangerous? And he's like, Addison, if I don't win, then zombies will never be accepted.
And Addison says, I know how you feel. No, you don't.
Don't, Addison.
You don't get it at all.
Isn't it kind of
Zed really,
crazy? Like Zed
really is just being a martyr for real.
Yeah, he says if I lose one game, it's gonna be all over. Like, dude, you've won 5 in a row.
I feel like you're. It is a fictional high school. They want the instant success.
Yeah.
You don't know the highs and lows of high school football.
You either win all of them or you get nothing.
Yeah. So then they enter the big zombie rave party. They call it the Zombie Mash. And she says, "Wow, is this whole celebration for you winning football?" And he says, "It's more than that. It's for all of us. We really needed a win." And then Eliza's like, "Whoa, what the heck is Addison doing here?" But the conversation gets cut short, and the song starts. BAMM is what they're gonna do. It starts with some like really cool like fog and spooky light. Like the intro is honestly so good, and then he starts
S-tier.
rapping. Yeah, S tier intro, but then he starts rapping, and you're like a little bit let down. But it's still good overall.
The rap flow is just nothing that special.
Welcome to
No,
Zombieland, and then everybody dance.
And I think like the beat's fine. The dancing's really good in this
Yeah,
one, but
like when they go, "What you gonna show me? Show me? You don't know
Yeah.
me." Yeah,
but like the verses could use work.
yeah. But the choreography is so fun.
insane.
It's insane.
Insane. It literally looks like they're defying gravity at certain
Yeah,
points.
there's a bouncy floor.
And they
that
hide it very well.
You don't know it's bouncy, and then all of a sudden he like lands on his back on the floor. You're like, "Oh shit!" But then he bounces right back up. You're like, "Oh, bouncy floor." Oh, and I love when they do the choreography with like the disembodied hand. Where
Yeah.
it looks like it's leaving, but it's just someone
It's a fun
else.
little magic trick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It goes bam. Oh man, oh man, oh man, you can't do it like I can. Bam.
And I don't get why they don't call this song like You're in Zombieland or
What?
just Zombieland. They call it BAMM, which is a way less memorable title.
Watch me do it like bam. I'm in Zombieland.
What?
You're in Zombieland.
Who?
We're in Zombieland. I remember watching this for the first time in Jank House, and we were like, this was the number we're like, wait, did they kind of cook with this movie?
This is where Kelsey went. Have I been quickly hating on this movie for like a year for no reason?
Like, we're like, they kind of cooked with this.
Well, they kind of good though.
Kind of good. We're like, wait, I think this movie might be good.
This was the turning point for you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because this is near the peak of the film. We haven't really mentioned it too much. My overall thoughts of this movie is basically the first 2 acts are pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
And the third act is noticeably a letdown comparatively.
Yeah.
Where it feels like they didn't have a good conclusion plot written at all. Everything feels like it's leading up to this homecoming football game. And like Addison and Zed's relationship, which feels more important like in this and the next few scenes than it does in the last act.
Yeah. Because it does lead up to the football game, and the football game is really important, but then they have to have a really long conclusion and another climax point after the football game.
Yeah, the cheer competition is way less exciting.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But anyways,
back to BAMM really quick. Addison joins the number, and there's like dubstep and stuff, which is cool. And I wrote down glowy brain balls, glowy blocks with zombie language.
they do a lot of props
Yeah,
in this.
it's fun.
There's a lot of great spots for dancing.
There's so many great spots for dancing. Yeah, and then it's over. So then after the number, Zed is still ouchy with his wrist, and it's very red.
He's like, I'm in pain.
Which, like, what is happening with the hacking? Isn't it just kind of decreasing the shockwaves?
Presumably, but probably the hacking of it might make it overheat or tighten up. I don't know. We're talking about fictional technology. The side effects are unknown.
Yeah,
Babble. You never know what it does.
Yeah. Bonzo checks in on him and says, like, I'll be all right. And then Bonzo hugs him.
Yeah, he's a hugger.
Yeah. So then Addison finds Zoe in a back room, like, cheerleading. And she's like, wow, you're really good. And Zoe's like, no, I wasn't cheerleading. Please don't tell anyone. And she's like, hi, Madison. You're Zoe's little sister. And I'm like, yeah, you're great at cheerleading. And Zoe says, thanks, but my pet Xandorf isn't that impressed. Is that what she names him?
Apparently.
Xandorf.
The stuffed dog.
Yeah. Addison's like, well, he should be. But I think you're old enough for a real pet. Wouldn't that be awesome?
This is just insane. So obviously,
Said,
this is leading into a conversation where Addison's going to learn that zombies can't have pets. But like, you're telling a 6-year-old girl you should have a real dog.
you
There's
have,
so many consequences to that.
you have zero authority to tell that to a child. Like, what if the parents are just like, no, we can't have a dog, but you're telling this little girl like you should have a dog.
You should have a real dog. You should just go do it.
You should just do it. You're old enough. Like you, says who?
That could easily backfire because, like, wait, you don't think that my stuffed animal dog is good enough? I have an emotional attachment to this dog. You're being mean.
Her stuffed animal dog and hates real dogs.
It's totally possible. You just met her. What the hell?
Like, yeah, but your stuffed animal dog is stupid and you should have a real
This
pet.
is by far like the least considerate she is in the whole series.
And it's only there so that Eliza can come in and say, we can't have real pets, remember, because we're zombies. But like, it's so dumb.
And like, you'd think that if Addison lived her whole life being taught about how zombies are bad, she would know the whole, oh, they eat dogs and cats and stuff. They're bad.
She's actually the whole movie super unaware of how zombies live and the rules around
She's just
zombies.
grossly uninformed. It's not like she's taking Fox News report on everything.
No.
She's just
No,
She just doesn't know. She's
totally ignorant.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't know you guys had a curfew. I didn't know you weren't allowed to have pets. I didn't know you lived in this janky ass town.
She's just grossly misinformed.
I didn't know that my cousin.
underinformed.
I didn't know that my cousin eggs you every year. Like, oh, they can't believe they're so harassed. Which, like, it would be more powerful if she did know
Yeah.
and then change.
But they didn't want anyone to be worried about cheering for her.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's okay. She was just ignorant, and that's totally fine. But yeah, Eliza comes in. She's like, we can't have pets. And Addison says, I didn't know that. I'm still learning that zombies aren't what I was taught. I mean, look at you. You're smart, cool, pretty. And Eliza's like, you think I'm pretty? And Addison says, yeah. And then Zed comes in and he's like, Zoe, what are you doing here? And she's like, I couldn't miss the mash. And then Zed pretends to be a dog in front of Addison.
It's very cringe.
Mad cringe.
Like, this is the girl you're trying to woo, and you're pretending to be a dog for your very younger sister in kind of a weird way.
He's like, I'm down to earth.
Like, it could be cute and wholesome, but no, it's not.
Zombie town, but I live in the moment.
I'm great with kids. That could be our kid one day.
My sister.
So then, yeah, Eliza says, I'll take Zoe home. And Addison says, we should hang out, Eliza. And also, I really like your boots. And then Eliza turns to Zed and says, she's cool. And Zed says, yeah, for a human, right? And Eliza says, no, she's just cool. You guys look good together.
Yeah, she's pretty cool for a white girl, right?
I like that she says, no, she's just cool.
I would say it's a good thing to have in there.
Yeah. So now Zed and Addison are alone in this cool circle room with light bulbs. And she says, what is this place? And he says, it's a zombie light garden.
This is so, I don't know why that makes me laugh. It's a zombie light garden. Like, it couldn't just be a light garden. It has to be a zombie light garden.
You know, well, we have the monopoly on that as zombies. That's like our thing.
Yeah, that's part of their culture. They put light bulbs in a room.
They have a very rich culture, apparently.
Yeah.
With dandelion plants and 23 different words for brain.
Yeah, in their language, yeah. And then they start singing Someday, but slow down in a ballad.
I was talking with Kelsey about this. There are very few DCOMs that reprise songs at all. This film does 3.
Yeah.
I
mean, Teen Beach does it a lot with Meant to Be. They reprise that one a lot.
Like, those are the only DCOMs that really reprise.
Yeah, because like High School Musical, it's kind of a reprise. It's like the Sharpay version and then the Troy and
Yeah.
Gabriella version.
It feels different because it's not really a reprise. It's like two different performances of the same song for a plot reason.
Yeah. And then Descendants, like maybe like one time does it, but not much.
And that's franchise-wise, too.
Yeah, that's franchise-wise. Movie alone just repeats songs.
Yeah.
But this is cool because it's slowed down and now it's like super romantic. This is like the most romantic thing I've ever seen in a
And they're getting so ready to kiss.
Oh my god, I know. I know it might be crazy, but then you hear that song.
Oh, wait, those were the lyrics? I couldn't hear it through the kazoo.
There's the version on the CD with the kazoos and without the kazoo.
What's the kazoo version of the slow down version?
Slow kazoo.
Iconic. Slow kazoo.
That's a good band name.
Yeah.
Slow kazoos. Kazoo slow jams.
Oh my gosh. I should make a career out of that. So then they're about to kiss and but they don't. And Zed grabs her hair and pulls out the white strand and she's like, "Oh no." But
I'm hideous.
he says, "It's beautiful. You're beautiful." It's so romantic. But yeah, they're about to kiss, but then lights go out and the cops yell. They're like, "Man, you're past curfew." And Addison's like, "Curfew? I didn't know about curfew." And Zed just disappears. He ditches her so fast.
He just vanishes.
He's not getting caught.
He's out.
He didn't even take her with him.
Yeah.
It's really.
But I think he knew that she wouldn't get in trouble because humans don't have curfew. So like,
Yeah.
if she can't get arrested, they're just gonna be like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
That's literally what happened, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah.
Like, she knew the cop or whatever. She
knows the cops because her dad is the chief of police.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very connected in this.
Yeah, her mom's the mayor and her dad is the chief of police. Damn. So then at home, her parents are mad at her for sneaking out. And throughout the whole scene, there's a bit where like the dad's not letting the cop leave. And I found that really funny.
It's such a minor, no reason for it. It's literally just a bit for a bit's sake.
Yeah.
Because this guy's not a character. Neither of them.
His name is Gus. He has a name.
He's just stuck there.
He keeps trying to leave, and then I'm like, don't leave.
Just having to bear witness to this really awkward, like, family situation.
Yeah.
Basically, Addison says, like, "Oh, I was out with a boy," and the parents are like, "Well, you're not allowed to cheer anymore until we meet this guy."
Yeah, it's weird that that's the only consequence. It's like, we have to meet him. She's not grounded. They just want to meet him.
They're just curious.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that he's real.
Yeah. So then at school, today is the homecoming game. And Eliza tells Zed to stop messing with the band because it's not safe. But Zed says just one more game to get through. Apparently it's the last game. Makes no sense.
Yeah, they shouldn't have called it homecoming, but it's a term.
Why can't it just be like...
Some schools do like late homecomings and stuff. Wow. Maybe they don't do a championship. And they don't want to do a state championship because then you would presumably have to travel. And they haven't shown Seabrook travel at all.
Region championship?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so then the ACs overheard the whole convo about the Z-Band thing, so they know Zed is cheating, and then they walk away. Was there sassy?
You gotta know that.
Yeah.
That's the ACs for you.
That's the ACs. So then Zed finds Addison in the hall. He's like, "I'm sorry about last night. I wanted to help." And Addison's like, "No, it's not your fault. The big problem is that my parents won't let me cheer until they meet you." And Zed's like, "No problem. I'll just win them over." And Addison's like, "No, they don't know that you're a zombie and they hate zombies." And she says, "I'm so sorry." And Zed says, "No, I'm sorry for making things difficult for you." And Addison says, "No, you haven't done anything wrong besides being you."
Makes it sound like being him is wrong.
Is wrong. She meant.
She could have been like, "You haven't done anything wrong, comma, you're just being you."
Yeah, that's
the word besides is the wrong word to use.
Besides just disgusting.
It's not me, it's you.
She says, "And you're great." See, she follows up with "you're great." And she says, "You know what? If my family can't accept zombies, maybe I don't want to be a cheerleader anymore." And he says, "But you love cheer. It's what makes you you." And she says, "I wish I could just flip a switch and change everything, but I can't." And she leaves. And Zed looks at the camera. Remember They break the fourth wall
I
sometimes.
know.
Flip a switch.
Oh my god, I have a switch on my wrist.
Yeah. So then Bucky prays to the Cheers spirits to send him a sign so his perfectly toned body can stop zombies from stealing the spotlight.
This is why I'm like, you know what? I get Bucky
I
now.
get Bucky.
He's just an egotist to the max.
Just narcissism.
Yeah.
What if he's min-maxing and all he has is cheerleading ability and narcissism as stats?
And then he sees a sign that says "Go Bucky," and he's like, "That's it. That's my stick."
There it is.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, like in the whole fired up sequence and everything, he jumps through a poster of himself to reveal a larger poster of himself.
I did mention
Okay,
that.
then like this is just the most egotistical. Like the whole school loves him.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're portraying enough how like half of the decorations in this school are cheerleading related, and 90% of those are specifically Bucky.
It's amazing.
Because he's so damn good.
Yeah.
He
Look at
lands.
how
Look at how
perfect he lands.
perfectly he lands.
Yeah. So then the ACs come in and they're like, "We know how to stop Zed. It's all about Eliza and her computer." So then they go to Eliza and they're like, "Hey, Eliza, we should be friends." And they're talking to her as like a distraction to steal her computer behind her back. And they succeed. And because they're like, "Let's go see the VR room." And she's like, "Okay, yeah. I don't want to discriminate against humans, so let's do it." And then they're like, "Actually, no, bye."
So yeah, she's just like, oh, that's okay. Presumably, she goes through the rest of her day / multiple days, and
Not
not knowing
realizing-
she has a
With-
computer when her entire hobby is computer.
Yeah, and she presumably has computer science club at the end of that day too.
Yeah.
She's in it.
The heck?
Never
So
finds out.
explain that to us,
Yeah.
Paul Hohen,
Yeah.
and
Riddle me this.
You could have had one line of like, "Oh, I still can't find my computer" or something, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Give us
Nowhere
a-
when.
So they try to hack into her computer, but there's a firewall. And then we see Zed at his house, and he tells us that he's going to swipe right, even though Liza said not to. And then he screams in pain. And back at the ACs, they're like, "Oh, yay, something happened, and the software's corrupted, so we can break in now."
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
How convenient.
So then Addison is about to tell her parents the truth when the doorbell rings. And she's like, "Fine, open the door. Yes, my date to the homecoming game is..." And the mom says, "Handsome. Zed looks like a human boy."
Oh my god, he's a real boy.
Oh my god, he's Milo
No.
Manheim.
No, they yassified him.
He just looks like Milo. Like
Yassified Zed.
he's less pale and he has black hair. Yeah.
You can still see a little bit of the green poking through though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, and this is where we learn he's a fullback and he bonds with the father about being a fullback in football. And he schmoozes the parents and they love him. And they're like, "Where did you dig him up? Haha, zombie bug." Unintentional.
Yeah.
And then they
Some of the zombie puns were pretty heavy-handed, but most of the time they were clever and they got like they made me chuckle a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's true. They had fun with it. So then they leave, and Zed tells Addison he adjusted his Z-band. He's like, "I feel great." And he says, "Hey, we still have some time. I owe you a real date." And then Addison gets excited because they're going on a date. So they go to Froyo, and as they're heading in, Zed like slams against the wall, and he's
Yeah,
like,
he lets Addison in a door and then closes briefly so they're separated and he just like yells in pain.
yeah, and she opens the door like, "You okay?" And he just perks up like, "Yep, I'm good."
No, we're chill now.
And then they get Froyo, and
The only flavor that they have is vanilla.
yeah, they've
That is a good little joke there.
double vanilla, and then yeah, they get their vanilla Froyo, and Addison says this is so Seabrook.
Which is funny because she says this like in Zombies 3 for the exact opposite reason.
What?
Oh, this is so Seabrook about the aliens coming in.
Yeah, but Zed likes vanilla.
Vanilla is so much better than I give it credit for.
No, I should just get plain vanilla more often.
It
honestly.
is good.
It's good.
Yeah, the thing about vanilla is that it's not plain. It's not a distinct flavor, and it is good.
Yeah, it just works so well as a base.
Yeah, it's just a nice sweetness. It's good.
Yeah.
I love vanilla. Vanilla is one of my favorite flavors.
Heck yeah.
Vanilla Coke is my all-time favorite soft drink of all.
Ooh.
This vanilla Coke. That's terrible.
Interesting. Do you get like Coke Zero or is it regular Coke?
I prefer regular Coke, but I've been trying to get more Coke Zero.
Mm-hmm.
It's better for you.
A little bit.
But anyway.
Yeah, anyways, that's like, I always wanted to come here. Now I'm finally here with you, with Addison on a date, and it's so great. And Addison says, is it? You're forced to be someone you're not. And Zed says, so? You wear a wig to fit in? Why is it so bad for me to do it too?
Yeah, he says that in front of everyone.
And she kind of looks around like, damn, don't say that. She says, because it's not right. We're changing ourselves, but what needs to change is everyone else.
He's so woke.
She's so woke immediately. So now the cheerleaders are getting ready. Addison tells Bree that, hey, Bree, you should come out and cheer too. Things need to change around here. So the football game starts, and we just skip the whole game. There's 3 seconds left.
Yeah. Like, literally all we see is like, oh, it's 4th and 22 with 3 seconds left. They've got like the whole 80 yards to go.
Down by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ACs really dropped the ball in that case if they were planning on sabotaging the game by waiting this long to...
Yeah, how did they know they're going to time out at 3 seconds left?
They could have just been the last play. He fumbled on the last play.
You know what, though? They wait till the game's over. I think they care about winning.
They do want to win.
They care about winning, and then they'll expose the zombie.
But they break his band here.
Oh, you're right. They do break it for the last play.
But it's not turning him into a zombie.
Yeah,
They're trying to expose him as a loser.
Yeah. So before this happened, Coach really wants to win to better his life. He says maybe he can win back his ex-wife. And so they go out there. Principal is there, and she's like, wow, it's almost like Zed is one of us. And Coach says, he is one of us. And Principal says, you're right. He is.
Aw, the principal likes him now. This will totally stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah. So then Addison's leading a cheer, and she goes, give me a zom. Give me a B.
What's that spell?
Bucky's like, don't you fucking do it. And she says, what does that spell? Zombies. And he's like, if you do it one more time, there'll be consequences. And she says, what does that spell? He says, you're off the team, you freak. He calls her a freak.
Kinda is a freak.
In front of the entire school.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the team captain. If you call your cousin a freak in the middle of a football field, I'm probably not going to like you anymore.
Huh. And then Bree comes in and she's like, go zombies, go Zed. And the crowd likes it, but he's like, you're off the squad too. But they don't care. And they hug. So then
It's the real homies.
Yeah. So then the ACs hack Zed's Z-band, and football's about to resume. And Zed looks at his Z-band, and he can't hack it anymore because a little picture of an ogre comes up. That's how you know that's corrupted.
It's the stupidest little hacking system. It's just the ACs say, haha, you're getting trolled. Here's a picture of a troll.
Yeah, haha. And it shows up on Eliza's and Bond's as well. But Zed's like, it's okay. I can still do it, even if I'm just myself. And so the play runs, and Zed gets a touchdown, and they win.
Z doesn't power through everyone. Instead, he's dodging tackles and jumping up, and he's outrunning the last guy, and he gets tackled right on the goal line. And the ref says touchdown. Everyone's celebrating. If you take a look at the replay footage, he is very clearly a half-yard short. It would have been tragic, but they needed to call that not a touchdown.
So funny, because Benji's like, wait a minute. Rewind that, and we paused it. Paused it, and he's definitely short.
It's not even a question.
Tragic. Oh my gosh.
So funny.
Also, what I found interesting is that I was really confused as to how the game was so close. Because these regular human football players were able to hold back this beast the entire game. Being that close. These guys are legendary. I think crazy.
Zed only goes zombie mode a couple times a game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong about that, but like that's why he was trying to go zombie mode
At the
at
end.
the end, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe it's like I don't want to look too suspicious.
Well, I think he's also like, I don't want to do it too much because it's literally hurting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We're not confirmed on that though. So yeah, Seabrook wins. Everybody's happy, but then the ACs hack some more to make Zed full zombie, and the zombie alarm rings, and everyone's freaking out. And then the ACs also make Bonzo and Eliza full zombies.
Why is Bonzo being targeted? I get Eliza being targeted.
Because Bonzo's really tall and scary.
Yeah, I guess that's
And I think like Eliza just also has Bonzo in the system, so
Mhm.
might as well.
But like no other zombies are being targeted.
Well, because Eliza doesn't hack their
There's also
business.
no other character.
Yeah, true. Bucky watches all the chaos and smiles, but then they realize that, oh, they need to run away from the scary zombies. So they run away.
Like this didn't happen 50 years ago.
Yeah.
We should know what happens to people. Like, you probably are gonna die now.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't think this through of like, we'll make them full monsters and it'll be fine.
And then it'll just work out.
Yeah.
Because I'm built different, apparently.
Bucky gets back into a corner by Zed, and we see Zed coming after him, but then he's kind of able to restrain himself, and we're like, whoa, can he control himself? But then a cop comes and zaps him, and Addison comes over and is like, no, it'll be okay, but Zed gets taken away, and she tries to stop them. Yeah, and Bucky's just like in shock. He's like, damn, maybe I was wrong. I'll talk about this more in a second.
This is significant because it isn't.
Yeah. So the zombies are being hauled away. Addison goes, no, they're my friends. And Eliza says, we don't have human friends. And then Addison's dad says, we told you zombies can't be trusted. You give them an inch and they bite your face off. And then Zed's dad's like, that's my son you're talking about. And Principal says, suggest you move along, sir. And then they ADR the principal saying, I'll make sure they look after him. I'm sorry. Like, it's like they wanted to go back and make the principal a little bit nicer in post.
They didn't realize at that point that the last scene we saw was her being like, yeah, Zed is one of us.
Yeah.
Just to have the immediate character change, but they don't care about that with Bucky.
You know, it's weird. It's weird. Zed tells Addison, like, I'm sorry. Maybe they're right. We shouldn't be together. Addison says, no, stop. And they get hauled away. And Bucky's looking so perplexed, guys. This is important.
He's
He is
questioning his whole life.
He is so true. Like,
Yeah. Just internally.
This is also the rough moment where the movie goes from, this has been pretty good, to, you don't really care. Like, this ending's just half faked.
This is the turning point.
This is where the movie's pacing gets wrong. It's not even pacing necessarily. It's just they ran out of plot.
Truly feels like a different movie from now on.
Yeah, it's
which
like
is weird.
it's a different episode.
Yeah. So the crowd boos at the zombies, and Addison looks at them and says, hey, you did this to him. He was your monster. You made him feel like he had to risk his life to belong because you couldn't deal with someone different. But you had no problem using him to win your stupid games. And the crowd goes quiet, and then Addison turns around and she starts singing Stand. I wanna scream inside my lungs. I'm gonna stand tall. And the whole song is in like slow motion, and they flash back to moments that happened in the movie, including the scene that happened 2 minutes ago.
This is just the most mediocre song. It's the only song here that I think is like bad.
Yeah.
Because for a ballad, it does nothing.
Yeah.
it really does feel like anime filler.
That's very accurate.
Like it's
With
so
the
much of it
flashbacks.
so much of it is slow motion flashbacks.
And also, it's all a dream sequence.
Yeah, so it goes into a dream sequence in Addison's mind where she's going through the flashbacks and like singing in slow motion. And then it goes to Bucky and he's like, how do I know where I stand? Like he's so
Why am I
conflicted.
feeling so wrong? My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
He goes, "What if I don't know where I stand?" And Addison's like, "Yeah." This is all happening in Addison's mind. In her mind, Bucky is like, "I'm conflicted. I'm gonna reform," but then he just doesn't at all. What was the point of
Not
that?
even a little.
Not even a little. Until the cheerleading thing, but it takes so long. It takes him to the last second to kind of accept zombies at all. Yeah. But when she snaps out of her dream sequence, she rips her wig off in front of the whole crowd. And she has this white hair that's in like this wolf cut with bangs. Honestly, I don't like it. What do you guys think?
It's hideous. She's hideous.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad haircut.
That's pretty bad. Which, to be fair, she never
Close
shows
to being
anyone.
It's so close to being a really cool haircut that it just wasn't.
It just wasn't. And she never shows anyone, but like, if you're gonna keep your hair under a wig, why do you have bangs?
Why don't you just shave your hair?
Uh,
That would solve multiple issues.
Shave it. What?
Can it not be cut?
It can be cut. Because in Zombies 2, she has long hair, and in Zombies 3, she has a bob.
Weirdo.
You just can't dye it. Whatever.
It's just dye resistant. Yeah.
So she rips off her wig and she finishes the song, and then it cuts the commercial, and then it cuts back, and the crowd boos at her.
Diabolical.
Conclusion on this scene is the crowd.
So, what about, she doesn't. So basically, she just goes up in front of the audience and says, "Hey guys, you're being a dick to Zed," and then she just rips off her wig and has white hair now, and is like, it expects anything to happen to come from that.
They go, "Boo."
They're like, "What? Okay."
Boo, we don't like your white hair. And her hair is like, it's just white. It's like not far from blonde. It's not even bad. I mean, just the haircut's bad. I also want to point out that someone in the crowd had a sign that says "Zombies go home." So either they've had
There were
this
haters
sign,
in the audience already.
yeah, like were they there the whole time while everybody loved Zed and they had a sign that said "Zombies go home," or did they rip it out? No, we saw the back was empty, right?
Yeah, no, the back was blank.
They brought two signs with them. They brought two signs just in case.
Just in case.
We have my winning sign and my losing
Just
sign.
in case we hate zombies again, I want to be prepared.
I'll be ready so I can capitalize for the points.
Yeah. So now we're in Zombie Town. The kids are released from the van. They spent some time in zombie containment. And then Zed tells us that it's all my fault. I thought I was doing something right by doing something wrong. But now all the zombies get software updates on the Z-bands, so no more hacking. And then he goes, "Eliza, sweet, they have Wi-Fi now."
Yeah, Wi-Fi is cool. Should make it easier to hack, not harder.
Eliza's
That is
pissed
true.
off. Yeah, Eliza's pissed. She says, "The cheerleaders stole my computer, sabotaged everything, yet zombies get the blame. Stupid to think that humans could change."
Fair points.
Yeah, we tried the nice way, but now we're going to do it my way. We'll have a zombie uprising. Make us equal or we'll tear it down. I'm sick of waiting.
It would be so easy for them to do that. They could just all take off their wristbands.
I
So
don't
true.
know if they can take it off.
Why not? Yeah, they can. They do it in Zombies too.
It would be so easy for that. Do they just get shot?
Shot. Oh my god.
Yeah, I suppose the humans could just like kill them, but like they do have super strength, so
Yeah.
they could cause a lot more problems than they do.
Yeah, but it's like, what are they expecting will happen? They're like, "Oh, we're gonna kill you if you don't treat us equally." Like, is that actually
You
what
don't
they're
give us
having?
rights, we're gonna go sicko mode on you.
Like, if they want to rule over the humans, I think that could be an angle.
Yeah, they probably could if they played their cards right.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Zed goes to his dad, and his dad's like, "Why would you do that? You could have died. You don't have to change who you are, son. I love who you are." And Zed says, "Yeah, but they don't." Sad.
Big sad.
Such a tragic
It's-
movie.
It's the tragic blowout section of most kids' movies where everything is bad and wrong, and then
Fixed in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So then at school, Addison's like, "Oh, today's the cheer championship." Bucky is purging anyone who isn't anti-zombie, and that's a lot of people. Apparently, most of the cheerleaders like zombies.
Yeah,
Like,
not everyone fell in
minimum,
love for Bucky's spell, and he cut all the potential candidates that would be pro-zombie or anti-zombie anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
sucks to suck.
yeah, he loses like over half of the team.
Yeah, because a lot of them are still wearing like zombie necklaces. and-
They're all wearing zombie fashion.
yeah. And the ACs are like, "Bucky, are we all right? Like, is this all right?" And he's like, "We're cheerleaders. We're flawless. So we'll be perfect for the championship tonight." And then Zed tells the camera that, they're all being sent back to zombie-only school, which they say is temporary, but Eliza didn't even show up at school to clean her locker. I don't know how those 2 points were related, but that's how the sentence was structured. Him and Bonzo find some plans in her locker for sabotage because she's going to sabotage the cheer championship. So they run to go stop her. At the cheer championship, a different school is performing right now, and Bucky's there with the ACs, and Seabrook is up next. And they don't even have half their team. But
It's gonna go great.
yeah,
Bucky's so positive.
Bucky's like, "We're gonna crush it." We see Zoe snuck in the back of like the crowd, so she's there. Addison's also in the crowd with Bree. Bree longs for being thrown up in the air, and Addison says, "Someday you will fly as soon as the town gets over themselves." And Bree says, "Don't your parents hate your hair?" And Addison's like, "Yeah, but they can't make me hide anymore. No way am I leaving this seat." And then she sees Zed and Bonzo, and she's like, "Oh, gonna leave my seat." All right, go.
I
I thought it was funny. Like,
yeah,
"Oh, I am gonna leave."
actually, I'm out of here.
Yeah. So Zed and Bonzo find Eliza, and she admits that she's planning some sabotage. And Zed says, "Doing this will only prove their worst fears, that zombies are monsters." And then Addison comes in, and she's like, "They think that anyway. At least you have the guts to stand up for yourself. I say do it." And Eliza's like, "You can't stop me, Addison."
Wait a second, huh?
"Wait, you agree with me?" "Oh, I like her."
You already said you liked her.
Yeah, now she really likes Addison.
Yeah, it's funny because this is actually pretty accurate to Addison's full character development in the rest of the series.
Mhm.
She is like let's start shit.
Yeah, let's start shit, but then she comes around and she's like, "All right, we'll do it the right way." But yeah.
Fine, we'll do the right thing, whatever.
She's just a bit more
Serious whole
revolutionary
period.
than you expect her to be.
Yeah, I was wondering what they were doing for the sabotage. I wanted to see what they had planned. It looked like they were like planting bombs.
It did seem
Really
like bombs.
did. It really did.
Just a little bit of zombie
It's
domestic
also kind of
terrorism,
wild that
indeed.
Eliza's like, fine.
Okay, sure, we won't do it then.
Yeah, we won't.
Her entire character has been described as like the revolutionary,
Hmm.
and now she's like, no.
Well, if you insist that we don't do it, I guess we don't have to.
Zed says, "This isn't who we are. I'm a monster. I'm not a monster. I'm a zombie. You're a cheerleader. You won't change the world through sabotage. You change the world through cheer." All right, no sabotage. It's not who we are. And then Bree comes in and is like, "Seabrook's up next," so they all go to watch. And Seabrook goes on. There's not many of them, so they completely fall apart. And Eliza says, "The sweetest type of sabotage, self-sabotage." And then, so the crowd is starting to boo them, and there's this random
This is
old guy,
the best character in all of zombies.
unnamed old guy yells, "Get off the stage, Bucky!"
It's just this random ass dude. who's just-
60-year-old man being a professional hater in the stands.
He's just a hater.
Homie
So
clearly has nothing better to do.
He watches Fox News all day, and he hates that Seabrook wins the cheer championship every year. They have
And
zombies.
he's gonna go there and make sure that everyone knows it.
Yeah. Off the stage, Bucky. And so Bucky isn't used to hearing boos. And Zoe is pissed. She runs down the bleachers, unplugs the sound system, and then runs on stage and starts to cheer. And the same fucking old guy goes, "Get off the stage, zombie!"
This is like a 6-year-old girl who shouldn't be up there, to be fair.
Like, you're yelling racist shit at a little girl.
Well, no, he's non-discriminatory. He's just mad when there's bad Seabrook here.
Get off the stage, Bucky. Get off the stage, Zombie. He says
He knows Bucky's name. He doesn't know Zoe's.
He's just some random out-of-towner.
He's just Peter. It's great.
The way he says zombie, it sounds like a slur.
Get off the stage, zombie.
The whole crowd is still booing, and Bree is like, what is she doing? When Addison says,
That is a fair question.
Addison says she's changing things by hearing. Eliza's like, that's not how change works. You can't just change things with one person and a pair of pom-poms. And Addison says, you're right. It'll take all of us.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, the rest of the movie kind of sucks. Eliza says they won't see us as normal. And Zed says, because we're not normal. We need to celebrate our differences. This is our revolution. And Eliza's like, does it have to be cheer though? And they're like, yeah. So they go to Bucky and they're like, Bucky, things are gonna change. Either fight us or lose or be part of it. And then Bucky hands his whistle to Addison because he just can't do it.
He hates them so much.
Even though he had that verse in Stand.
Yeah,
Well,
when that happened, I was like, oh my god. The dude is committed to being a bigot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Again, I love the fact that in every movie he's just still an asshole. And it took me to the third movie to realize, oh, the point is he's just a stupid, funny asshole. Don't take him seriously at all as part of the plot.
Yeah.
And then you just enjoy him a lot more.
His role becomes a lot smaller in the next two movies.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, he has a plot next movie, but 3, he does nothing. And it's pretty funny. So then, they're like, guess we need a new captain. So they look to Zoe and they start their routine. Zoe is now the captain and they just sing Fired Up again.
But they changed the lyrics a little bit.
A little bit. They changed the lyrics a little bit. We were made for this. There's nothing we can't do. And everybody gets a cheer. Zed's cheering. Eliza's cheering. The ACs come back. And the zombies are really good at flips.
They're really good.
Really, I wish we had the button. She's really good.
Honestly, we could just do them entirely from Camp Rock. Just we have a bunch of sound bites to play at a moment's notice. There's a lot of room for dancing.
Yeah. Zoe goes up to Bucky and is like, they're good, right? And Bucky's like, yeah. And she says, the only thing they're missing is the best cheerleader I ever saw.
Again,
Aww.
Zoe's the only one that realizes the way you win Bucky over is just feed his ego.
Yeah. She's like,
He cares about nothing but that.
Yeah.
Heal to his narcissism and he'll like you.
Yeah, he says, I am good. And she's like, yeah. And he takes his whistle back and he's like, you're good too. And she goes, I know. And so Bucky joins them. And then Bree gets to fly in the air.
And her character arc is done.
Yeah. And then Bonzo catches her. And she's in love with Bonzo. And then the routine ends and everybody loves it. And Addison and Zed hug. And he says, who would have thought a cheerleader and a zombie would change the world and have their happily ever after?
Did they really change the world?
No, and they don't have their happily ever after
There's
yet.
2 more movies.
This is where it really feels like they were just tying it up just in case they didn't get a sequel.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then Addison says,
we'll let it slide.
Yeah, Addison says, Gar Gar Gaza. And he says, yeah, I Gar Gar Gaza you too. So I think that means I love you.
It could mean I want to fuck.
Oh, no.
I'm hungry.
That's why he's taken aback. He's like, oh, yeah, I Gar Gar Gaza you too.
Oh, you're a little freak. Bucky was right.
And then
That let our freak flags fly. Not what I was talking about.
They write it in their letters in the next movie, and she just doesn't know that it means that I want to fuck.
Imagine being
Out of back
reading
will
that
translate.
reading that message over someone's shoulder and be like, "Whoa, hey,
Garber Gaza? What the hell?"
Okay, whoa, hold on.
Keep that in your own home. We don't need to
Hold
see you
on.
Gargar Gaza.
You don't need to see that."
So Zed narrates, we didn't win the cheer championship.
First time in so many years. Sounds like the zombies were a problem.
Oh my gosh! Of course, they didn't win the cheer championship. They started without the right number of people, and then it failed. And then they brought in a bunch of random people.
That's very well choreographed, though.
Like the announcers and everything
Yeah.
was very cheering and happy for them, but they still have to dock all the points that Bucky fucked up at the beginning.
They're like, you still were garbage at the beginning, so you lose.
Yeah. Um. So he says, we brought everyone together and threw an awesome block party. Even Addison's parents came. And then Addison gives Zoe a real puppy. Once again, Addison being super
It's
irresponsible.
weird. It's like honestly improved her character. We've been like saying like what the hell, but like maybe this is just who she is.
She's like, I got your sister a puppy.
She's like, yeah, let's blow up this cheer competition.
Yeah, let's fucking blow it out. Let's kill people.
Let's commit domestic terrorism.
No one has to talk her down. In the second movie, she's just so pro wolf immediately, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
girl.
Girl, these wolves kind of want to kill us. She's like, well, they get to go to school here, so that's the next movie. Okay, so cue dance party on the streets of Zombie Town. And I, in my memory, thought it was a medley of the songs, but it's literally just BAMM.
They just replay BAMM.
But they changed the words a little.
I mean, when it's done, they cut to the rest of the credits, and it's playing My Year. So that might
Yeah,
be
but
why you're
that's
thinking it's medley.
maybe, yeah. It's just like so weird that they don't have an actual closing number. Like they have new choreography for it, but why didn't they have any more songs?
There's honestly not that many songs in this.
Stand is the last original song of the movie.
What a down note to end.
Yeah. What?
For real.
They just do BAMM again.
Yeah.
After doing Fired Up at the competition.
Yeah. No other DCOM just repeat songs for their closing, right? No.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I can't
It's
think.
insane. But yeah, they all are dancing. The cheerleaders, including Bucky and the Aces, join Eliza and the zombies, and Addison's on the zombie side, and Zed's on the cheerleader side. And I just also want to know, why isn't Addison wearing her cheer uniform?
Good question.
She's wearing this kind of
She
low-key
still kicked
ugly-
off the cheer team.
She's wearing.
Yeah, but he didn't let it back. He's like, nah.
Her dress is low-key kind of ugly, and so's her haircut. So, she gets a glow up for the next movies for sure.
She's living her truth, and that's what matters.
Yeah, she just has to grow her bangs out. It's all right.
And that's the movie.
Yep, Zed and Addison hug at the end of the song, and they wave goodbye to the camera. And in the sky, it says "The End," but in Zombieland.
Yeah, it's written in zombie.
Yeah, so that's zombies. Hell yeah!
Fun movie.
Fun
Big fan.
movie. Teetered out at the end for sure. Like
Yeah.
again, it just feels like they didn't have a good final plot in mind. They had a lot of good characters. And again, thinking about it as a TV show makes a lot more sense to me, where they had like overarching like relationship drama and stuff to do. But they didn't build up the arc of the cheer competition enough for
Yeah.
that to be the climax.
No, for real. Like, I think it's a great movie until it hits Stand, and then it's fine, and it's kind of a letdown at the end. But then, like, the rest of the movie's great. I think it's great.
I think it's a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, so final Jank House ranking was 25, which is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Benji gave it at 24. I have it at 16 because I love me a musical.
Yeah, that's the musical bias and you winning over.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty accurate, honestly.
Do we rank songs at all? Like, I think Someday is good, and then maybe like BAMM and Fired Up. And
My
actually,
Year.
I really like My Year too. I think they're all kind of similar for me, and then the worst is just Stand. by
Stan's
far.
just clearly the worst.
Yeah.
The other four, I'm like, cool. Those were good additions.
Any final thoughts, Jacob?
Honestly, it was just a good time. It was just a really easy movie to watch. I didn't have to think that hard. The heavy thinking that I did was just me reading into the world building.
Yeah.
Just being like, why is this like this? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
World building is crazy in the zombies universe.
It really is.
The line.
I want
Lion
more
soda.
and all that.
We need the Grimdark prequel.
Yeah, I can't wait for the vampires, for real.
Well, what also was a good time was having you join us on for this episode.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Jacob.
Do
Yeah,
you
no, it's so glad that I could make it.
do you have anything you want to shout out? Any personal projects or anything else?
I don't really have anything super specific going on. But shout out Master's Mansion, my homie on YouTube. Go check out his YouTube channel.
Heck yeah.
He does
Oh, yeah.
he does board game stuff. I'm appearing in one of his videos
Ooh,
very
that's fun.
soon. So
Cool.
yeah, in a gameplay video. It's gonna be a fun time. Hidden roll shenanigans. It's good.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any thoughts on zombies, you can email us at thedecomdo@gmail.com.
Or if you have on other stuff too.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll eventually cover the rest of the zombies movies. Excited about that. And now we gotta spin the wheel for our next decom. And we also gotta predict what it's gonna be.
Jacob, this involves you too. If you predict the right decom being picked, you get $1
I get $1
from
Yeah.
both of us. So it would
shoot.
actually be $2 for you.
The stakes are high. Okay, let me think about this.
We've done a lot of them already.
My pick
Yeah,
is going to be High School Musical 3.
That's crazy. I was thinking maybe Camp Rock 2, but I think I'm actually gonna pick the other me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
have you guys done Freaky Friday?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, this is gonna be my guess. I'm locking it in.
All right.
All right.
Let's spin the wheel.
Pretty notable ones for us.
Yes, honestly.
The suspense.
Oh, we have our answer. It is.
All right, what is it?
It is another Paul Hohen. We can't escape. It's How to Build a Better Boy.
How to Build a Better Boy. Hell
I'm
yeah.
excited for this.
I am excited to get back to this one. This is one we enjoyed a lot when we watched it the first time.
Yeah, very pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid in a good way.
Yeah. So tune in 2 weeks to hear us talk about How to Build a Better Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Heck yeah. This is
Bye.
great. Bye.
Scenes from our next episode.
Man, I can't get a boyfriend. Let me just try and make one on my dad's military software device. And this just for fun, but I'll hit enter anyways. What? He
What?
exists?
He's real and he's really hot.
I'm sorry, best friend. I'm going to start dating your brother
I love you like a love song, baby.
on like the tiniest little ukulele you ever did see. I'm going to throw a football through this barn.
Oh no. The existence of this AI robot is creating a vortex?
Oh no, the Build a Better Boy is literally imploding at the school dance after our kiss. What the fuck?
I still love him though.
This movie's crazy.
It's pretty fun.
Sounds a lot like the Avatar: The Last Airbender with wait a minute, you dated your girlfriend turned into the moon? Like, wait a minute, your boyfriend floated at the school dance?
He was a robot the
Yeah.
whole time?
You dated a robot? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's rough, buddy.
I built him.
That's rough, buddy.